welcome back to What She Said Sports, everybody. We made it to the nighttime ride out. All right, so let's talk. We have some good topics. I've been doing some studying about Julian Lewis and his red shirt, the impact to the program, what it means for him. I started looking at Kansas State, who will be the final opponent of the Big 12 season for Colorado for football, and Kaidon Salter would take the helm of the team again, his final college game. And the game is at noon Eastern Standard Time. So it's 10 o'clock a.m. where they are in Boulder, and it's noon over here in Atlanta. So it's an early one that they should wrap up early. But I think the most heart-tugging part is the part where we got to say goodbye, possibly, I believe, to Omarion. We know JuJu will be back. Jordan Seaton, I hope he come back. Jeremiah Brown, Mata will be gone. I'm like, oh my God, we got to get a new kicker. Oh, I just kind of want to shed tears. Jeremiah Brown, who stepped up big time this year. It's just time to say goodbye to the seniors. I didn't even know Savell Small was still over there. He was on the list. It was so many people. Ben Fennison, this is it for him. I'm like, whoa. Like, I mean, the babies are gone. They just gone, right? When I saw Ben, I was like, oh no. Like, it's a whole new crop next year, right? And with Julian Lewis redshirting, it positions him as the future of the team to go out and recruit, that we have this 5-star Julian Lewis. You can come, play and win with him. Takes the pressure off of JuJu to fix the 3-8 season. He didn't create it. You can't fix what you didn't break. That's just what it is. And Kaidon, when he came to Colorado, he was expecting some things, and I don't know if he got them, but this is it for him, right? At least he takes the field one last time. I don't know if he still has NFL aspirations or not. I would imagine that he does. He's been working on this his whole life, and we just wish him well. Anybody watching the game Saturday? Let me know if y'all watching the game Saturday. Anybody watching the game? So, Julian did the right thing. Coach Prime said it was the right thing for the kid to redshirt. He had played 4 games, so he doesn't burn a year of eligibility. In 2026, he will still have 4 years to ball out, right? And most kids only play 3 years. But the point is, if he want to go 4, he didn't lose one by playing in the few games that he played in, right? And he only started twice. And I just felt like, I still maintain, I feel like Pat Schumer should have been fired early on. And I just feel like had it happened early on, we would have had time for new schemes. We would have had time for new plays. But with it happening late, him still being there, putting JuJu back out there to get sacked all these times, no. So it was the right thing. It was the right thing for Julian Lewis. Now, so that's JuJu, that's Kaidon. Apparently, I don't know about Ryan Staub. I don't know if he's a sophomore. He's not going nowhere. He'll still be there next year. So Julian Lewis is the starter, apparently. Then Ryan Staub. I don't know what's going to happen with Ponder. I don't know what's going to happen with Colton Allen. I don't know if we're going to get any more recruits, since I feel like Pat Schumer ran off the other guy, the one that ended up at Texas Tech. See how convenient that was? And you know what I started noticing? I didn't even know Arizona State had a black quarterback. Now, y'all know what I said. I feel like my theory is that the offensive coordinator ran off the young black guy that was going to come as a quarterback of the future after JuJu or something like that, ran him off to Texas Tech. And then I feel like they intentionally sabotaged Kaidon's year, because 17-32, I said at the beginning of the season, it starts in college. And I was proven right that when Lenore Sellers was heavily concussed and had to miss all those games, right? That knocked him out of the first round. Now he's a second round prospect. They were talking about the guy at Arkansas being a Heisman candidate. That came and went. They were talking about Dante Moore. Haven't heard anything else. It's just all Diego Pavia, Mendoza, and somebody over there at USC, right? So it changed a lot of things for our guys. And there seems to be this push to eliminate in the first round, the inherent QB1 for as many black players as possible. And it's probably going to only be 3, maybe 4 is a stretch quarterbacks drafted. But it seems like they didn't want to continue on with the trend of 3 black quarterbacks drafted in the first round, right? And they getting their way. That's just what it is. They're getting their way. So I don't know what's going to happen with Kaidon. He was top 15 when the season started. And that was over. That was everybody. If you consider all the seniors coming out, he was top 15. And I said, he probably top 10. And they just cheated him, right? Then the season starts before the first kickoff. High hopes he was expected to be the leading rusher. If you noticed, leading rusher quarterback, if you notice, Pat Schumer didn't call no RPOs. He didn't really use his legs. And I felt like that's how he stifled him. And when that young man came to visit at that one game, Kaidon had 12 reps. That told that other kid, if you come here, you ain't going to have nothing either. So I'm hoping and praying that Coach Prime is still there and Schumer is gone. But we don't know what's going to happen, right? We just know Julian Lewis did redshirt. It's good for him. It's good for the program. And Kaidon is going to get one final opportunity to ball out, hopefully, with Bertalone calling plays for a dual threat, because Bertalone was Shedeur's OC at Jackson State. Now, Shedeur wasn't a dual threat, so I don't know what this situation going to look like, and if it's still Pat Schumer play calling and Pat Schumer schemes. It was not for Kaidon, and it should have been. And I said, if JuJu get back out there, everything from quarter 1 to quarter 4 needs to be specific to JuJu. And I feel like our quarterbacks were not developed to withstand the pass rush. I just feel like that, right? I feel like they weren't. I just don't think that they were really developed. So and all that was supposed to be happening while Coach Prime was gone, because he came back right before the season. So I remember Bucky saying, while Coach Prime was gone, some people did some things and they shouldn't be there. So we're going to see who the hell it is they're talking about as they clear house. But again, I saw the way the Big 12 general manager down talked the program, which was disrespecting Coach Prime. So I'm not going to tell you that things going to go the way we think. We just going to have to wait and see. So if Coach Prime not going to be there, JuJu redshirting is good. If Coach Prime going to be there, JuJu redshirting is good. So we just going to see what happens. All right. So, hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Hit the like button and please subscribe. I'm 250 subs away from my goal of 6,000 by Christmas Eve, less than 30 days away. And I want to talk about, since we talked about Colorado, because we weren't going to say much past that. Let me know if y'all watching the game. I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not, but just let me know if y'all plan on watching it. All right, so let's talk about Shedeur, because there's just a lot happening here, right? I had so many things bookmarked to talk about for Shedeur Sanders. This is one of the topics. I probably have content for about 3 weeks because there's so much happening. One thing that happened, there's 2 things that happened. One thing is Shedeur is a movement. People need to understand that. We talked about how it was already said that Shedeur would essentially be the LeBron of the NFL, and how they don't want that. See, they know too, right? The NFL know too, and it's too much pushback against Shedeur. They want to come in, be quiet, not be seen, not be heard, not be successful. We just want to keep you from going somewhere else. We don't want you to succeed over here. I wonder if he has realized that. Y'all think Shedeur has realized that this is draft and hold? This is not draft and succeed. I wonder if he has realized that they only holding him so he don't go somewhere else and take 10 million fans with him, including the global fans that are already starting to speak out and let us know that they watching the games at 1 o'clock in the morning on the continent of Africa, right? And all of these other places that the NFL has been with Shedeur's face plastered on the marketing, right? So I wonder if he knows that that's what they're doing. Like, they have no real intention to allow him to succeed, but for the most part, keep him from going elsewhere. Let's see if 47 coming through for the second time changes things. It didn't change things when he got to Cleveland. It changed things in the draft. And people have pointed out that he's the quarterback going forward. So, you know, Stefanski and Mary Cabot might be having pipe dreams together. I don't really know. But I don't hear a whole lot of calls for Dylan outside of the media. In fact, I don't even hear Big Mike's media calling for Dylan. I just hear them trying to trash Shedeur. And again, if 10% on, if the NFL is 10% is owning the media, you can't listen to that. You just can't. You have to understand that NFL, CBS on NFL gets it because they license Shedeur music to play at commercials, and we'll likely hear it again. Oh, one of the things I forgot to say about the game for Colorado. Colorado is expected to lose by 17 points. Now, this is not the same Kansas that we played last year. They in the middle of the Big 12. They like 5 and 6 or something like that. So they're not doing as good as they were. So if CU could get a win, and we're second to last, if CU can get a win, it would be good, right? To leave on a good note. But otherwise, we're expected to lose by 17 points, almost 3 touchdowns. So just keep that in mind and let me know if you're watching the game. All right, so let's get into the second thing I want to talk about. Looks like Browns fans are beginning to expose Kevin Stefanski. We're hearing about what it was like with Kevin Stefanski under Deshaun, under Baker Mayfield, etc. And fans, one in particular, and I know he feel like some of the rest of them feel like he do because they left that stadium empty. This is basically the sentiment of some Browns fans. So I want y'all to listen to this. Dude is not having it. Looked like he was going from point A to point B, and he was like, letting us know what's happening is some BS, and he just not with it. All right, so I think y'all can see my screen. So here it is right here. I think he gonna cuss, so I might have to cut it off.
To get hated Baker Mayfield?
Hold on.
So I've been telling you all year that Kevin Stefanski when he hates a player, there's nothing you can do to get hated Baker Mayfield. He got rid of him. Deshaun Watson, he didn't hate him. He just would refuse to devise an offense. He didn't want to take broken down 8-play offense to Deshaun Watson's talent, so he forced him to become a pocket quarterback game man. I can't believe nobody else has seen this on the Browns. He forced Deshaun Watson to be a game manager, to be a pocket quarterback. And
that's what they do to the dual threat quarterbacks that are black.
8-play high school offense, and now he just flat out hates Shedeur Sanders, and it's so obvious by the answers. He won't even just the disdain he has for Shedeur Sanders when he mentions his name. And this is what I've been saying about this clown putting his goddamn ego and his agenda above the team. He wasted a whole fucking season.
God darn.
Starting that little fucking dwarf. Those players in that locker room know this. He wasted a whole season starting this fucking midget, Dylan Gabriel. The Browns, if they started Sanders, he would have progressed weekly and gotten better every game. They'd be in the playoffs right now, probably leading that division. This is what Stefanski does. He has an ego and an agenda, and it doesn't suit the Cleveland Browns. It just doesn't, and it makes me fucking sick.
Now, what do y'all think he mean by agenda? We know what ego means. What do you think he means by agenda? He has an ego and he has an agenda. Let me know in the comments. Define what you think this man right here, this Browns fan, means when he says Kevin Stefanski has an ego and an agenda. What is the agenda? They know what it is.
And I can't believe that I'm the only motherfucker that's...
God darn, man.
Because you know what? Nobody cares about the Cleveland Browns. And they knew if Shedeur Sanders was playing, people would care and they'd see Stefanski's fucking...
All right. Bottom line is, I can put the link in the chat if y'all want to get it. Otherwise, it's saved on my X page. As you can see, and there's more to this video, but it's expletive laced, so I can only go so far. The part that I wanted to talk about was when he said Kevin Stefanski Baker Mayfield didn't like Stefanski because this man told you Stefanski has 8 plays that he wants to run repeatedly. Somebody asked, when was the last time they ran a wildcat? Like, that's not something they do all of the time. but that I don't know if Dylan was still in the game when they ran it or not. But he says Kevin Stefanski has 8 EIGHT plays, and that he forced Deshaun Watson to be what a game manager, not even a pocket passer, so to speak, but a game manager, which is what Dylan is. So you can see how talented Baker Mayfield is. He wasn't going for that. Deshaun is talented. He wasn't going for that. Now, ask yourself this. Why would Haslam tell Andrew Berry to go get me that guy, meaning Deshaun Watson, a dual threat QB? Why would he have Andrew Berry go get me that guy, pay him $230 million guaranteed American dollars, and then have Stefanski, like Jeff Fisher, break down Deshaun Watson to a Dylan Gabriel? Cruelty. Because that's exactly what it was with Jeff Fisher in Tennessee with Vince Young. See, that's what they were doing. See, it's always something with these black quarterbacks they have to do to them, right? If I can't switch you off because Lamar Jackson refused to switch, the first thing they tried to do in Baltimore is switch him to a pocket passer, and they still trying. They are still trying. Even though they have cheated him multiple times, colluded against him multiple times, did nobody want him, and he won the MVP. And the only reason Josh Allen got his 3rd MVP is so Lamar don't get 3 MVPs before Tom Shady. That's why. That's why he didn't get it. So they gave Josh Allen $330 million, and he proves, along with Lamar Jackson's 3rd MVP, he proves he wasn't the guy. They gave Brock Purdy $250 million. He's not the guy. So they just paying some of these quarterbacks because they white, and just to keep them on the field, to keep the black ones off. You can deny it all day, but the evidence points to that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. You underpaying black quarterbacks. You cheating the hell out of Shedeur. You robbed him of $44 million. And you want to put him behind Dylan and break him down as a person so that when he does get to finally play, he'll be a game manager. So you want to destroy his skill set. You want to take what makes him great and trash it. And what did I say about Stefanski earlier before we heard this man? Before we heard that he tried to break down Deshaun to a pocket pass. Stefanski turned over his headset after Deshaun Watson got injured to Ken Dorsey. And I don't know if he was good or not, but he got fired. So now we have something to add before Deshaun Watson got hurt. So they went and got him to put him on a shelf. But before they put him on a shelf, they broke down his skill set from what made him great to a game manager, which is Dylan. That's Kevin Stefanski's job. Dylan gets propped up. Deshaun gets broken down. They know they can't do that to Shedeur, so they just leave him in the back. Don't even, because we watching. We're watching. If you don't think people talking about this is making a difference, let me tell you how I know. Before we got off the last podcast episode, y'all told me that Big Boy was doing the halftime show in Cleveland, which is the upcoming home game, right? And I don't even think it was 10 minutes after I closed my laptop. I said, oh, wait a minute. I know what they're doing. First, it starts with Stefanski saying Shedeur's name. Then he has nice things to say about Shedeur. And I said, oh, he a legal liability. So now he got to do right. And I'm right about that. And it's not just the pressures on him either. So then he starts to say Shedeur's name. He starts to seem nice. And then people are like, no, he don't hate Shedeur. And then they're like, see, he goes every morning with Shedeur. They try to spin it, right? Shedeur took the initiative to meet with Kevin Stefanski. We don't even know how many times get the hell out of my office, so I ain't going to be here today. We don't know nothing like that. We just know they took what Shedeur did and used it to try to make Kevin Stefanski seem normal. because he's not normal at all. Try to seem normal. Try to make him seem rational, like he helps Shedeur. No. I even told y'all, CBS, NFL on CBS put together clips that are out there showing how dismissive Kevin Stefanski was of Shedeur. The same NFL on CBS license Shedeur music and use it halftime. Now, I don't know what they got going on. But for them to put that clip out, I said, you're going to help Kevin Stefanski because this ain't it. And this was the time when people were trying to position him as somebody that was normal, that didn't hate Shedeur, because that was the point, right? And I said it's just racism. It's not just plain old, I don't like him. Even like this man said, Kevin Stefanski has such disdain for Shedeur. You could tell the way he says his name or doesn't say his name. And people know, I know people know that it's his ego and his agenda. What do you think the agenda is? Understand. They know what's going on, right? They know what's going on. And now we're starting to get more insight. Somebody came to me on X and gave me the rundown on how Stefanski treated Jameis Winston. Every last one of them quarterbacks that got up out of there got devalued or no longer in the league and only been in the league 2 years. Or if they was a starter like Jameis, they ended up in their next team as a QB3 or a QB4. Agenda. So now you see Stefanski in Cleveland, just like you see Judas over there with his arm around Shedeur after he chose to start skipping to Malu and stop running so they could take the ball from him. So Shedeur wouldn't get another passing touchdown. After Stefanski took Shedeur out the game twice. So he don't get the passing touchdown. He want to come over and start getting photo ops with Shedeur so he doesn't appear what? The agenda. So he doesn't appear to have an agenda based on what? All right. And then we see Barry at the game after we had seen him in a minute. They needed his melanin to come on out because if he leadership at the top, Stefanski might have a problem. But the Browns are not what? And then we see Barry go in the locker room and hug Shedeur, and Shedeur is cool with Barry. So leadership for the Browns is not what? Leadership for the Browns don't have an agenda. Haslam with them little kids with the 12 jerseys on. Haslam is not what? He Shedeur Sanders friendly. Them kids was Hispanic. I don't have no problem with minorities. And now, when Shedeur walking up the sideline, doing his thing by himself, if you watch the video, Stefanski gonna come off the sideline to talk to him. And then, see, Stefanski can't help himself. He really can't. I'm surprised he just don't yell the N-word out in the middle of the goddamn game because he can't help himself. Where Shedeur's concerned, he just gotta dig. He just gotta show who's in control. I think he threatened by Shedeur because he know he ain't it. And they know if Shedeur would have been prepared this whole way through, he would have saw through Kevin Stefanski's 8 plays. He would have saw Kevin Stefanski is nothing better than a coach propped up with 8 plays for a game manager. They said Raiders game was tailored to Shedeur's skill set. That's a lie because you didn't need them damn Wildcats at all. You could have used one of them if you want, but you still didn't need to take Shedeur out the game for Quinshon Judkins to get in the end zone. He could have did the same damn thing with Dylan Sampson, and that is the point. Oh, this what you didn't want to do? And we did it anyway. The agenda. And now we coming back to home base. Dylan has never won at home. They weren't putting him out there anyway. Stefanski is delusional. If they thought the Browns was going to put Dylan out there after the fans already revolted on him in that Ravens game. He wasn't getting back out there. Hell, they'd have put Bailey Zapp out there first. And maybe that was a plan. I don't know. But it wasn't going to be Dylan against the 49ers. Even with Brock Purdy throwing 3 interceptions because a depleted Jets game took place in New York and Dylan still lost the game. Shedeur stopped the slide. The irony of that. Nobody stopped his slide. Well, 47 did. But Shedeur stopped the slide and actually is helping Stefanski to get to where Haslam wants him to be. And that's better than what they were last year, whether it's 3-14 or 4-13 or whatever it is. Shedeur is the reason they won 3 games. Shedeur is the reason they didn't lose 4 games in a row. Shedeur is the reason people are like, they could beat the 49ers. Shedeur is the reason people go, I think he could go 6-0. The agenda. So when y'all told me Big Boy was doing the concert, I was like, yes, that's interesting. And as soon as I closed my laptop, so we don't appear what? So Haslam with the photo op, Barry with the photo op, tried it. We ain't seen him in weeks. But then the camera goes to him up there. He goes to Shedeur. Everything looks good. Stefanski running around, talking to Shedeur while he's stabbing him in the back. People trying to cover for Kevin Stefanski in the media. He don't hate Shedeur. See, that's not a coach that hates Shedeur. He work every day. He go over plays and film with Shedeur. That came and went because people like no. Some people say they want to try to give Stefanski credit for developing Shedeur. No, because you didn't give him first team reps. So when did you help him? When did you help him? And while the media try to do another sham job on Shedeur, you think they would learn from the draft, but they haven't. And that should let you know at whose behest they're doing a sham job. Because at one point, Stephen A. was speaking up for Shedeur. And now you can tell that they had some kind of meeting. And Rex Ryan like comments are the ones that are allowed to move forward and stand. The agenda is why Big Boy is doing a concert in Cleveland. I know why Jeezy doing a concert in Atlanta. Because it's Atlanta. But for what I see in Cleveland, I mean, I do see a lot of black people at the tailgate, but I sure see a lot of people that would make me think they would be listening to country music up there. Or somebody. What's his name? Waylon or something like that? Big Boy? Outkast? Atlanta? So we don't appear what? I told y'all Kevin Stefanski is a legal liability, and everything you have seen is to say we're not what? Unless you want to make sure people come to the game, so you're gonna beckon to black people. The people you are actually discriminating against a quarterback that they cheer for that looks like them. That's cheeky. I'm gonna go with what I said. The photo op 12 with the kids. Barry coming out of wherever he been. Stefanski trying to get the photo op on the field with Shedeur, putting his hand on his back and his shoulder, just like Jerry Jeudy. I know his skin crawled. All they doing is trying to protect their CYA. That's it. Trying to, even though you're acting, you wanted to be bold and you wanted everybody to know how you really got down. You wanted people to know. But now you got to rein it in because you done made yourself a liability. And now the fans are calling out your agenda and they sick and tired of you and they heard you trying to come back with Dylan. So they telling. They don't like you. They was just waiting for your time to come and go. But they won't part ways with you. So they got to jar you loose by telling us who've been saying all along that you are racist, that you are egomaniac with an agenda. And you're not a coach. And you only got 8 plays. And you want all your quarterbacks to be a game manager. But Baker Mayfield gets to get out, but not Deshaun. But Deshaun got invited to the game, photo op on the side, working with Shedeur, because we're not what? That's all you're seeing is the Browns organization showing people that they're not racist. They didn't care if people thought they was racist, but now they do. Believe me, if they didn't care, there wouldn't be all these photo ops. This is not a coincidence. The pressure is at Haslam's feet. Could be from his sponsors. Hey, we're gonna need you to pipe down over there because we're getting some messages, and we can't support you if you're just gonna be out here looking racist. You're gonna have to work on that. Some people gonna hit up Stefanski and say knock it off because that's what they're gonna say, as if it's like a switch. But see, they don't understand the stuck on stupid concept because themselves might not be racist, but they understand what he doing because Papa Joe like that, because Meemaw was like that. I know what you're doing. I don't support it, but hey, knock it off. You're going to get us all in trouble. Facts. Did I not say that? He going to get everybody roped up. So when Haslam ran down there with them kids, I told you it was a photo op. Andrew Berry knew the cameras was on. We ain't seen him in weeks. He is the melanin that they need in the organization, the visible melanin that says, no, we got a black guy. We not racist. He worked right alongside Stefanski. He not racist. All the while, they're racist. And you know it's thick because they went and got Big Boy from Atlanta. Ain't no rappers out there in Cleveland? Jeezy from Atlanta, so I get that. Why they had to get Outkast? What's that about? Is the 49ers fan base black? No. Couldn't be further from the truth. So why Outkast? Whose idea was that? Hey, who should we get? The agenda has been exposed. And fans are sick and tired of Stefanski. So they exposing Stefanski until they get rid of him. Let me see what y'all saying about that. And then we're going to get back to my second part about Shedeur being a movement. That speaks to what we said about Shedeur Sanders having, we went from 3 million fans to 4 million to 6 to 8. We at 10 with a global audience. That's just what we're going to say. And you know it's true. You know it's true because it's not just a few people watching. Because we've been watching and we a few people and they didn't give a damn. They didn't. They really didn't. They didn't give a damn about the aunties, the unks, none of that. They didn't really care. They didn't care about the Shedeurians. They didn't care about none of it. They saw it and they kept doing the same thing. But when Kevin Stefanski started to be different, that's when the pressure got to Haslam's feet. I'm Shedeur Sanders friendly. Even though I went out here and I wouldn't have got him. He cleaned that up with that photo op. Andrew Berry. This is his second time trying to make people believe that he didn't have nothing to do with it. But Stefanski is the one that had to pivot. See, the other two know how to fly above the radar, and when they make a mistake, they don't have a problem with coming back with a photo op to clean it up. Stefanski had to be forced into it. If you saw his face when he said Shedeur was going to start for week 13, I swear he was trying to control all his muscles. He looked like somebody gave him a tranquilizer so he could go out here and be normal and say it. He had to look like he had to be sedated, subdued, because he has an agenda. And his agenda is getting all of them in trouble. They heard people say the word malpractice so many times that they're like, you know what, you're going to have to switch it up. But they let him act like an ass for months. But all of a sudden, you're going to have to switch it up. So while the little local people, all for the most part, want to see Shedeur and this, that, and the other, it's the national media that's connected to the NFL with the same agenda. Shedeur didn't do nothing, and they have lost credibility because don't nobody care what they say because we see what we see. So they wasting their time. They really just collecting checks because they're not convincing us of anything. We said Stefanski was racist, and it caught up to him. It caught up to him. So he got to be different. He fake, but he is different. Even if he got to fake it, that's how serious it is. And you know it's serious. I mean, I don't know how many halftime shows they've had with groups like Outkast and stuff like that. I'm not a Cleveland fan. I don't know if they do stuff like that. So you're going to have to let me no. Maybe they do stuff like that all the time. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I doubt it. I doubt it. The people, when they started taking up for Kevin Stefanski, I said, oh, I see what time it is. They trying to make him not appear to be racist because he in trouble. Then he bring in trouble to Haslam. So Haslam got to be Shedeur Sanders friendly. And here come Andrew Berry with his melanin. We're not racist. But the fans know he has the ego and an agenda. One thing about it, they knew they couldn't break Shedeur down to no goddamn game manager. So they was like, you just stay over there. We're going to act like we don't see you. I don't know how Dylan was a game manager at Oregon, and I'm not sure he was, but that's the role he signed up for. Because I'm sure they told him what it was going to be. And he accepted it. Shedeur never accepted any of this. And you can tell he still doesn't accept it. And what did he say when he was talking? I feel like to his dad, he said, I'm the last one. Now, if Coach Prime get let go, he is the last one with the Sanders football legacy. And if it happened, they already knew. And because I don't know what he mean by the last one other than him and Shiloh. But remember when he said the Sanders men going to have to regroup. So he technically could be the last one depending on what happened after Saturday's game. Because I don't see how they're going to win this. Not saying they can't. They ain't win the last one and they could have. Too late to change the plays. Too late to change the schemes. Hopefully they came up with a Band-Aid or something because I don't know. The way Coach Pryor was talking about a week ago, I said, why does it sound like they told him you got 2 weeks to vacate your office if this don't work out? The last game, ASU did not work out. I don't think this one is either, but I'm not sure. I wish them well, though. I wish everybody that's leaving and moving on to the next step, I hope they got what they came for. And if they didn't, I hope they came up with alternatives and got a damn degree. Because that degree going to be there. After any kind of sports career, that degree will still be there. So before we get into the movement, hey Gail, how you doing? How you doing? Hey Blade, how you doing? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. 420, welcome back. I am so mad at what's going on, Blade? What's going on? Tell me in the chats. Hey everybody. Yeah, so let us know what's going on. In the meantime, let me say thank you to Yolanda Spalding, Andrew, the illusion of inclusion. He better not check Kevin. Huh? Andrew, who you talking about? Let us know what you're talking about. Who is Andrew? Am I missing a conversation between another podcast that y'all talking about, and I ain't saying no names out loud, between another podcast that y'all talking about and Andrew? Are we talking about Andrew Berry? Are we talking about Andrew Berry? Okay, so let's go back with we talking about Andrew Berry. So you're saying, Yolanda, you're saying Andrew Berry, the illusion of inclusion. Facts. So we got that part. The illusion of inclusion. Okay. It's that he better not check Kevin. Are you saying since Berry is just an illusion of inclusion, he don't have no real power? And if he go to try to check Kevin Stefanski, he probably gonna get fired. Meaning, and I don't even know if he can. Honestly, I feel like the way the hierarchy is, in most organizations, I feel like it will be GM over the coach, but I don't know. In this organization, the way Haslam explained it when that day that he said Shedeur was my pick, he basically divided their duties. Kevin Stefanski chooses who plays, and Andrew Berry gets the people that basically Haslam chooses. Except for the people he don't care about, like third and fourth strings. He don't care about that. But when it comes to the quarterback, he cares, because where did he take Andrew Berry? To Ohio State versus UT's game. And then it's documented. He told Andrew Berry, go get me that guy, Shedeur. And the same thing I'm telling y'all happened to Vince Young. The owner of the Texans went and got Vince Young against the whole organization wishes, gave Vince Young his phone number, proceeded to let Jeff Fisher and the offensive coordinator beat up on the kid. So why now that you see how things work, supposedly Haslam went and got Shedeur. No, he didn't. We know he didn't. And guess what? The owner of the Texans didn't get Vince Young. Vince Young was being moved out of the way, with his skills being reduced down to a game manager, left with an organization that did not want him, did not value him. I did an episode on Vince Young. Go watch it. It's good. I said, why the hell would the Texans draft Vince Young? Give Vince Young his phone number, which made everybody hate him even more so. And left Jeff Fisher to break the man down. And 3 years later, I think, fired Jeff Fisher. And guess what they did right after they fired Jeff Fisher? They released or traded Vince Young. And do you know why? Because he was a liability. You know why? Because they let Jeff Fisher go rogue on that kid. And that kid ended up back in Texas, got a restaurant, no problems at UT, no problems when he got back to Texas, got back to Austin, has a restaurant right there in Austin with the same woman he was with after he won the national championship. Yeah. And they tried to turn him in to an animal by being racist against him, and the owner just letting it happen. Does that not sound familiar? Letting the head coach break down generational talent. Vince Young, Tennessee, Shedeur, Cleveland. Seemingly, people think the owner meddling instead of the GM making a call, when the owners were working together, colluding instead of competing for talent, restricting players' movement, which is the very definition of collusion, so Vince Young wouldn't become a threat and elevate the game in the NFL. Same thing for Shedeur. I was eating dinner. I said, they scared to death of Shedeur. They scared. Not because he's going to run and tell Coach Prime. Shedeur can handle himself. Not because of what Coach Prime going to say. Do you see what Shedeur has done in one game with 1 week of first team reps? Like he said, it could get a little dangerous out here if I get more time. They know. See, they like the game mediocre with Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Shaw, Jackson Dart, Dylan Gabriel, JJ McCarthy. They like the mediocrity because they white. They don't care. See, the problem is they don't care. So I want what I want. I won't see these white faces out here. That's all it is. It's plain and simple. It's plain. It's not even complicated. It's just racism, and it's just Jim Crow style racism. Black men can't do this, and white men can do whatever they want. White men can be mediocre, but they're going to get the best salary. They're going to get the best jobs, the best teams. Whereas Shedeur, who's absolutely the best, is going to be devalued and put behind a Dylan. And here's the thing about that too, right? You know Dylan not white, but they don't want to put a white quarterback in Dylan's shoes, which is why Bailey Zappi is back on the practice squad. So they'll let Dylan look like a fool because he's not white. He's a patsy. Mendoza might end up being a patsy. Tua, I don't know what the hell he got going on over there. I think at some point he trolling them. But do you see how Miami was sorry till they fired their black GM? And then they start winning. And that tells you that's how they get rid of black people. We put you in a position where you're not even the head coach or the quarterback. And nobody refuses to bench the head coach or the quarterback or to hold the head coach accountable or the quarterback. But the GM, because he black, he got to go because they wanted his job. They wanted his job. Let's see who they give it to. I think it's an interim black guy over there, but he has the title of interim. And they do that too. Oh, I want to get rid of this black guy. So put another black guy over here so nobody don't say nothing. University of Colorado. Look at the pattern of the black quarterback, black head coaches they have had, and you're going to see it. Until they get to a place where we don't have to play this game no more. And for the NFL, that was what? the New Orleans Super Bowl, when 47 came through, and he said, take in racism out the end zone, and they gladly did it. And after that, it was just on. You could see they were like, whoo, we don't have to have no black quarterbacks drafted in the first round no more. Whoo, because see, the NFL apologized in 2020 for the way I do believe they treated Colin Kaepernick. So they was making some kind of amends with the social justice program. But when Trump got in office, all that shit just went out the window. Enters Project 2025. We don't need you. We don't have to hire you. But the problem is you can fire anybody you want, right? Why you gotta try to destroy him, though? Like you did Vince Young. Like you tried to do to Shedeur. I am so happy that Shedeur was transparent and said, these last couple of months have been extremely difficult. That is so good. Y'all have no idea. That kid been over there suffering. He been over there suffering. And now Stefanski wants to smile in his face because he in trouble. He got to walk a certain way on the line because if he fall off of it, that could be him and everybody else, which is why Haslam ran out there with them kids. But Haslam do a lot of philanthropy work. Them kids was not dressed like grandkids of billionaires. They are billionaires. So Shedeur is a movement. The Cleveland Browns have come to understand that. Somebody posted a picture on Facebook, Kevin Stefanski, if you can't beat him, join him. And he did like this. I'm like, he probably break his own damn arm first before she shows Shedeur any kind of genuine appreciation or respect. Because while he's still being fake, he's still setting him up. So this is his first game to see. After that fiasco in the locker room, let's see if he's going to keep on the same path, even though 47 came through. Because they did last time, right? Or let's see if he going to just, you know what, let me stop this because my wife probably going to leave me and the kids saying I'm racist at the school and I'm embarrassing my family. If he going to think about somebody other than himself. If he going to think about how he disgracing his family, how he embarrassing his wife and his kids. I don't even care if they racist too, because here's the thing. They don't like people to know. See, he trying to let people know. I've been saying that. He got exactly what he wanted. Noticed. And now he want to act like he normal where Shedeur is concerned. For the cameras. Everything is a photo op. Everything. So Shedeur's the movement. Kendrick Perkins said that Shedeur Sanders is like Obama. And I knew what he meant, but I think the way he explained it is not, it didn't translate to people, right? He was basically saying that Shedeur is like Obama, one of the most powerful athletes, this, that, and the other. Now, remember what we said about LeBron. I would have went with LeBron. I knew what he meant by Obama. The part about Obama is a movement, meaning when Obama ran for president, it became a movement. It brought people together. And in this crazy country, a black man was elected president. That's what he's saying. And everybody rallied around him. But see, here's the thing. What a lot of people don't know about that era. Gas was $4 a goddamn gallon. Yeah, that's what it took to get Obama elected. The Bushes, who are in the oil and gas business, were profiting for the most part off of gas being $4.10 a gallon, and people got pissed off because the rich were getting richer and average white people were not getting richer. They was at work with black people. So they just felt some kind of way. Trust me, I know. That's how Obama got elected. If that gas wasn't $4.10, they probably would have still kept doing the same thing. But they knew what was going on. They knew the people in charge didn't care. They knew they were profiting while they were not. So the money was not trickling down from the rich folks to the people that look like them that work with us. You see what I'm saying? If we go to work at a high level, they think they're supposed to be at home getting the money for free. We're not supposed to be on the same level at any time. That's why when you live in the suburbs and you on the block the first thing they want to know, what you do? Because they supposed to always outpace you. And part of the reason they feel like that is because that's exactly how it's been set up. See, I'm supposed to go to school and pay student loans so I can't afford nice cars and nice houses and second houses. When we get to the point where we over here talking about second houses and they got second houses and they got a boat and we got a boat and we at the yacht club and they at the yacht club, they feel uncomfortable because they know they have been given a head start and we have been held back. So imagine somebody getting a head start while you're just held back. It's not like y'all started at the same time and you're slower. That's the myth. That's the lie. That's the lie and the myth they use to discuss Shedeur. I read it to you, Albert Breer. He's having a time learning. They're trying to say Shedeur was slower when actually he's elite. But that's the perception they want to give because that's the lie that they live. And that's why when you coming along and you over there and they looking at you on social media and you over there in Curacao or somewhere, they're like, wait, what the hell did I do wrong? And that's a valid question because you got a head start. So you are supposed to be 10 paces in front of us. But what did we learn a couple of weeks ago? That we ain't on food stamps like that. That they was worried about their constituents being able to go to the SEC games if the food stamps get cut off. God works in mysterious ways to let you know what it is and what it is not. But see, I peeped that already. On TikTok, I said, Black people got really nice houses. I wonder if anybody else seeing this. Black people got really nice houses. If you go on TikTok, you know, they be doing their little TikToks. I said, see, this proves right here that people be lying about how Black people live, what they do, etc. But they had to work for it. They had to work for it. So basically, nothing will be given, nothing will be earned. So Shedeur can be behind Dylan. So Shedeur can be behind Arch Manning if he came out this year, because that's what they was going to do. And they knew it was going to humiliate him. But you see, God didn't let that happen. So he's supposedly not coming out this year. So they need a quarterback next year. So do I burn a first round pick or do I trade it to Miami or to the Jets? And I get theirs for 2027 when Manning has come out. And then I keep Shedeur and rock out with him because I need to march toward this new stadium with some hype and publicity. And when the Manning kid come in, I trade Shedeur. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you can always trade Shedeur, but that's at your own risk because there's nobody better. That's why when Stefanski came out and said, Dylan coming back to practice, I'm like, we ain't never scared if Shedeur at the helm. So who cares? And he said that like, well, he going to take his top spot back. Okay, good luck with that. Because it wasn't the Shedeurians. It wasn't the aunties. It wasn't the unks. It was everybody. The people in the booth. The people who went to the game. I don't know where they came from, but it was a lot of Cleveland people at the game. A lot of Brownies or Browns fans. One man got kicked out the stadium because he was sitting amongst some Raiders fans and he was doing like this and rapping Shedeur song. Y'all know they kicked him out? Yeah, they kicked him out. For real. Be careful where you get your seats. Don't sit on their side because apparently they got the power to kick you out. So Shedeur is a movement in terms of Obama bringing everybody together. Because he's elite. Shedeur is elite. But he's not powerful like Obama. But he is like LeBron James. He's definitely elite like that. He definitely carries the weight of the endorsements. He gives the popularity. Everybody want to see him. So Obama bringing everybody together and LeBron James, the popularity, the eliteness, the GOATness, the Black excellence. Maybe they don't want Shedeur to have one of his friends start an agency and then like Clutch Sports, even though they already in the NFL, but then there'll be Clutch Sports and Legendary Sports. Maybe they don't want that because they don't want something. And I know they don't want him to be the talk of everything, but he already is. Everything they tried to say they didn't want him to do, he's already done. They didn't want him to change the culture. He already has. He already has. The game is already elevated from game one. So Stefanski is still left in place. Even though Shedeur is a movement, even though they already have to pretend and play nice. Because Stefanski got everybody looking at the Browns. Everybody looking for the sabotage. Everybody wanting him fired. For the most part. For the most part. Nobody wants him to go back to Dillon. And I don't know what's going to happen to him if he do. And he going to have to carefully choose a game because there's not that many left. And it probably will be the Titans. And that's going to piss people off. That's going to upset people. Shedeur is a movement like Obama, bringing people together. And he's a movement in terms of his elite talent, elevating the game of football like LeBron did for basketball. And Shedeur is at the beginning, LeBron is at the end. So essentially the baton goes from LeBron to Shedeur. And they know what that's going to do. Just like LeBron became the face of the NBA and they looking for the next face. Shedeur will be the face of the future of the NFL, and they don't want that. That's what scares them the most. We don't want the face of our league to be a black guy because we don't even want 17, 18, and 19 black quarterbacks. They just going to take over. You still going to hire your friends, right? So why you worried? That's why they treated him so nasty, because he's powerful. Not powerful like Obama, but powerful like LeBron. Let me see what y'all saying about that. Mata, yes, Mata gonna be gone and I'm gonna be sad. It said, hey family, I'm pumped about two legendary here. It said, we go. It said, in my Dak Prescott voice, command at the line. Oh, that's hilarious. Hey Queen, how you doing? It says, well, it's come out that Jerry Jeudy was cut from Denver for point shaving. He was already being investigated. What? Somebody sent me a message on a couple platforms about people said Jerry Jeudy was point shaving. I haven't had a chance to read it, but okay. Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to be looking into that. Thank you, Gail Billups. If you have an email, can you, if you have a link, can you send it to my email or something like that? It's a positive shift in Shedeur Sanders' narrative after big win is the name of his post. The name of whose post? Did I miss something? Hold on one second. Make sure. Oh, okay. I sent the link to what she said, sports. It said maybe she will unpack it later. Okay, thank you. It said, but you gotta watch. He actually said it. You talking about the podcaster. Okay, thank you for the context. Let me go back. Positive shift in Shedeur Sanders' narrative after big win. Why say with him about that? Did he say something in specific or something? It said these people forget that their industry is entertainment. Yeah, but see, there's still accountability because the sport is competitive. You're not supposed to collude and just let things fall where they may. You're actually selling people $600 tickets, $1,100 tickets, telling them that they're coming to watch two competitive sports that were competitively put together. This is nothing but just a big collusion fest. That's what they should just call it. And the only reason they colluding is to hurt the black people. That's it. That if the league was all right, it would be none of this. Oh, I saw a clip somebody gave me about Eric Dickerson talking to a reporter. And I don't know how they got on the subject of health benefits, this, that, and the other. The reporter was not black. He said the reporter told him, you know, if the league was 80% white, everybody would have health care like they have in the NBA, covers their kids, normal stuff, corporate stuff. The NFL don't have that. And they even made it retro to the retired players in the NBA. The NFL apparently don't have that because they're black. See, the NFL is on the same type of time where in larger society, you know, the only reason the U.S. does not have what they call it, socialized healthcare, universal healthcare. You know why the U.S. don't have universal healthcare? Because they didn't want the black people with it. Point blank, period. It's the same way in the NFL. We're not trying to truly benefit you. It said, do you think Coach Pryor will coach Shedeur under the table knowing he knows what's going on? It seems like He's about to, from after the game, he was breaking it down. Absolutely, that's his son. Always. It's not under the table. That's just his son. Coach Prime said that. They were asking him something. Did you have any advice for Shedeur? He said, I'm his father. So yeah, facts. He just, he gonna always be there for Shedeur. Don't forget, Coach Prime used to play quarterback himself and used to call his own plays, I think, in high school. So he definitely know what he's doing. And he was offensive coordinator when Shedeur was in high school. To put down black QBs. Yep, anti-black agenda. That's it. That's the agenda. That is definitely agenda. His agenda was not to play Shedeur. Oh, y'all want me to put the link to, oh boy, okay, let me get it. I was like, man, I want to hear what you got to say, but I got to get, I'm out here trying to duck and dodge like dodgeball, the damn cuss words. I'm like, whoo. I was like, man, chill out. But I get it. He was very, they sick and tired of it. And it proves, like he said, they know what's going on. We sick of his ego and his agenda. So the people in Cleveland know what's going on, right? But if they feel like it benefits them, they're not gonna say nothing. But that's not necessarily the case. And it's not benefiting them, and they tired of spending their money, right? So hold on 1 second. Let me get that because that was crazy. Here it is right here. Let me get the share because that was funny to me. Here it is right here. Share post, and I could get the link, copy link. Okay. I hope it's the right link. It should be. So I'm going to put it in the chat to the guy. Y'all can listen to the long form of his video. But what he said was correct. And when he was talking, I actually recognized what he was saying about Shedeur. I said that's exactly what they did to Vince Young. This is why it is important to understand Black NFL quarterback history, player by player, quarterback by quarterback. What did I say? Shedeur needs to learn Black NFL history. For him, Lamar is the biggest because it's the closest in modern time. But if he go all the way back to the Denver Broncos in 1968, Marlon Briscoe, he gonna see himself. We know you good. We don't want you as our quarterback because you Black. Point blank, period. And try to force him to change positions. Now they knew they couldn't do that to Shedeur. So they try to bury him. And Milroe, who played for Seattle, they didn't put him at the 3. Unless he moved up, he was at the 2. They realized that's not far back enough after preseason. So they put him at the 3. They said he'll be buried for 2 years. Do you know he related to somebody in the league? And they still treated him like that? They don't care. They don't care. And for all these kids that they want these kids to come play in the league, you better learn. Or you and your kids sit down and somebody need to start their own. I'm sorry. I just think it's just kind of weird. Right. And I don't know, maybe they scared of the mafia ties. They scared of something. They scared of something because by now there's more. You've been pushed so many times, unless they so competitive that we have to win. We're not going to let you force us out. If so, they should be talking to each other. There should be a group chat 17 to 32 before 17 to 32 even came about. They should have been in a group chat talking to each other. They got to know it's racism amongst each other. But think about what Warren Moon said about Shedeur's draft, and it was insane to me. He said, yeah, you got to move different. You got to be different. You can't be like a defensive back. White people was just eating that up because it didn't have nothing to do with that. Didn't your ass go to Canada to escape what happened to Shedeur? Then how you going to blame him? You see, that's what I mean. Are they putting something in their vitamins? Are they put something in their water? That Cam Newton act like he couldn't relate to Shedeur at one point, and then he could. It's going to be like this every game. Oh, now you have value. You could have have empathy for him. And after looking at Cam's stats, bro, you was a dog. They did you dirty. And maybe he just buried it in the back of his mind. And Shedeur, he knew what was going to happen. So I don't know if he was trying to save him or he just blocked it out and he was just hating. I don't know. But the point is, when you look at Cam's story, when you look at his stats, when you learn he was a target of Bounty Gate, when you learn that they try to take him down, when you look at the highlights where JJ Watt hit him right here in the same rotator cuff that he had just injured to get him off the field, when you look at what they did to make him unavailable after he took them to the Super Bowl, we can't find nobody. Just like nobody wanted Lamar, nobody wanted Cam. He should have been able to relate from Shedeur and offer him advice like unc, cousin, twin, nephew, whatever, because he already been through it. And that's the one thing I don't like, that the guys that go before these players that's getting ready to come out of college have the attitude, I made it the hell with you, and don't tell them anything until they get caught in a situation. And the situation is, I'm on my team and they want me to sell out my black quarterback and I don't want to do it. Or my head coach won't talk to me, but he's talking to the white players and I don't know what to do. Help each other. If you're going to stay here and not start your own, it is incumbent upon you to help each other, support each other, show them where the traps are, show them where the landmines are. Just like when they all was holding out for those contracts. Why the hell didn't all y'all just hire one law firm? That was called leverage. It was every man for himself. And that is exactly how the owners like it. Because I'm going to give it to you if you push. If you ask, Travis, so you don't leave. But I ain't giving it to you, Shamar Stewart. I'll give you $500. I'll give you $500 or $5,000. But I'm going to give Travis his whole 30. Y'all all in the first round. Why did now y'all get it? But why did Carson Schwessinger and the dude from the Texans, Browns, Texans, Deshaun Watson, why did they get it? And everybody else had to fight for it because they didn't work together. All you had to do, the 40 of you, hire one law firm. We have X number YZ of clients. What you thought they were going to do? Go to the G League and clean it out? The UFL, because that's what they're trying to make the G League. What you thought they was going to go over there and take all them players and still make it for the season? No. You can't be afraid to negotiate. You can't be afraid to be like Travis Hunter and stand up for what you said. You say you want me in this league. Give me my goddamn money. You say it's a signing bonus. Why you holding on to my signing bonus? But understand this. If something happened, they're going to want every dime back. Ask Michael Vick. And that was ugly. And to get out of it, they didn't apologize. They just sold off the debt to somebody else so they could wash their hands of it. And when he got out and was released, you see he went somewhere to another team. Never say I'm sorry. Never say I'm sorry. Never fix it. Never clean it up. Shedeur gonna be the same way. Oh, Shedeur got $100 million contract. I'm like, I hope it's $400 million somewhere else in equity or escrow or something. Right? But when the love of the game is greater than the love for yourself, that's what happens. When it's more important for you to be in this league than it is for you to be respected, that's what happens. Oh, she said he's fine. I want to hear what he has to say. I sent you the link. I can't just let people cuss on YouTube. It's not that he's fine. It's that I have followed certain guidelines for YouTube. So I put the link in the chat. It said Pat got the same 8 plays. That Pat, oh yeah, Pat Schumer. Yep, that's it. The same 8 plays. It said the Shedurian game day sweatshirt. Do they run true to size? Yes. And don't forget to use my code NOLA girl at checkout. Yeah, I think everything run true to size. Actually, the sweatshirt I'm wearing, they said when I had them, I designed it. They said it was big. I'm like, I actually got a large. And I said, no, this run true to size. So no, I'm real picky about that because my philosophy is I don't want you buying something and go, this too big. So I try to make sure that everything runs true to size. So no, I'm picky like that. That's why I got this one, because I wanted to see. And I always get the stuff so I can see what you see. That way, that's why I can tell you how soft it is on the inside. Like, y'all notice I wear this hoodie, this sweatshirt a lot, right? It's so cozy. I don't even need to sit. It's like sitting on a couch with a throw. It's just so cozy, right? And I really like that. I really appreciate that. And I'm real picky. Like, sometimes I want there to be a 1-inch collar versus like a 1/2 inch or, stuff like that. So, no, runs true to size. And if y'all get that camo hoodie with Auntie and Unc, it runs big. Fellas, ladies, it's already generous. If you notice, I have a model wearing it, and she's wearing it like a dress. It's a true generous fit. So understand, it's meant to be big. So you don't have to go from like a 3XL or a 1XL to a 2XL. If you want it to be bigger, it already is naturally generous fit. So, and I put that in there too. If you look at the descriptions, I highlight stuff in bold. That should jump out at you. But thank you for asking. Don't forget, use the code NOLA Girl at checkout, NOLAGIRL, all caps together. Thank you, Robin. It said, what she says, "Sport, you are a very hard worker today, lady." Yes, it said, this is third time today. It said, appreciate your insight of the game and your love for Shedeur and the Sanders family. You go, girl. Keep your knowledge going. Oh, thank you so much. So much love for the Sanders family. Let me share this with y'all. I have to share this. Y'all know how I always like to share a picture of snow, right? Well, I got a picture of somebody else, and it absolutely has to be shared. I'm like, let me show some love. Man. Hold on one second. Let me get it. Because I put it out there before the show. Didn't know if I was going to have time to get it. Let me just see if I can grab it right fast. And I'm glad y'all know what the agenda is that he was talking about. I have a lot of photos. A lot of photos. I was wondering why we hadn't heard anything about any update on what happened at Shedeur's house. Seemed like we should hear something. Oh, they said Jimmy had a big game or something. Did y'all hear about that? I'm gonna have to look into it. Want to definitely show Jimmy some love. I think I saw that in passing. And have y'all seen a new video from Shiloh or anything? If y'all do, send me the link. I want to make sure I support. People were talking about, oh, you know who was talking about Shiloh? They were saying they follow him even though he left the league. Y'all know there's a show, Come and Talk to Me. Well, they do a segment. About a bunch of guys get together and talk about football. They were talking about Shiloh. They say, yeah, I follow Shiloh after he left the league. He's doing good with his content. So people know that Shiloh is doing content, right? Here it is. 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 Tell me, Mama Snow's mother, DeAndrea Sanders, Coach Prime's oldest, after she had a baby, he's not even 2. And y'all know if y'all have kids, it's not easy, right? She looks good. You know, normally I share Snow. I just had to show her some love because the hair, the car, the shoes, the you know, she's like a Fashion Nova. She's like a what they call, like an ambassador or something like that. And I don't know if it's just her or her and Snow. Like, I don't know if Fashion Nova have kids and stuff like that. But I just wanted to take a minute. I just wanted to show some love to Miss DeAndrea Sanders. This young lady, I heard her interview. She said she never thought she would be, you know, a mom, you know, without being married and stuff like that. I don't know if she said baby mom or single mother, but I think she said baby mom. She never thought she would be that. And sometimes life is like that. You don't anticipate on certain things and it happens. And Snow is clearly a blessing, not just for her, but obviously for Coach Prime too, right? And look how good she looks. So DeAndre, if you see this, let us know in the chat you saw it, or any other Sanders family member. I just want to just give her a minute. I always show Snow, but I just wanted to give her props. Waist snatched. She looks good. And she's a good mom. She really is. She really exposes Snow to things to see what he gravitates towards, rather than say push sports on him or push music on him, or they take him to gymnastics and he like it. And Snow, you can tell her mother is everything to him. Miss Carolyn, that I don't know what he gonna call her, or if he call her anything, but that's definitely his grandmother. You could tell he's very fond of her. So she must be around a lot. But I just wanted to take a minute, just take a minute and just Miss DeAndrea, you did that. You did that for somebody that has a kid that's less than the age of 2. Shout out to DeAndrea Sanders. So I just wanted to put that out there because she looked good. She looks really good. Like she looks like model type, you know, good. So shout out to her and all her endorsements. She still has her own career. And then she got Snow's social media going. He got his own page. Hell, he got probably more followers than half of all of us in here. He got more views than all of us too. But I just want to, because when you have a kid, I will tell you this: when you have a kid, people, especially when you're pregnant, they don't care nothing about you. If you're pregnant, they're gonna call you, "How the baby doing?" It could be your anniversary. How the baby doing? And then once you had a baby, and this is the social media age, and she posted pictures of herself and the baby, they just want to see the baby. So she posted this, and I said, you know what? I know people always want to see Snow, so let me just go ahead on and show this woman some love because she looks great. She looks wonderful. So shout out to DeAndrea Sanders. All right, so that's what I wanted to say on that. And I did put the link in the chat to the guy. And he was right, and I know he probably said some other things, but yeah. You should see DeAndre and Snow shopping. He's pushing the cart out the door. It's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. I sent you a link to Baby Snow dancing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna look for it. Thank you, Tina. It said DeAndre looks stunning. Facts. She looks good. She really does. And it said thanks for the link. And that guy told no lies. I can't wait for Stefanski to be fired. Me either. And I want all y'all to blow up any account that I have. I don't care if you go to my DMs on IG, TikTok, or whatever they got, and send me the same message 1,400 times. I need my phone. No matter if I'm at the gym, I just need to start jumping. I'm gonna stop everything I'm doing. I could be asleep with a bonnet on. I'm gonna sit here and I'm already practicing my little dance. Yeah, you know how they did the praise dance. I want to do something like that when he get fired. See, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready, and I would hate for it to be the end of the season, but I do feel like they are protecting him, even though they shouldn't be. They're still exposing him by protecting him. He should have been fired already. So I'm getting my little praise dance together. That's right. So y'all blow me up if you hear about it and you don't see me online. Blow me up. Blow up all my accounts because I want to know. So thank you. It said you should see DeAndre and Snow shopping. I'm gonna have to see that. It said Watson built Habitat for Humanity. Did an interview from Mia Khalifa apartment. It said donated some checks to hurricane relief. Good dude. We should know his business. We should know his business. Another they're trying to ruin. Oh yeah, facts. That's what I mean. Why would Haslam pay all this money and give the impression that he wanted Deshaun just to Vince Young him? Because that's all he did. And that's why they got Shedeur. But they knew they couldn't do it. I even said it. I said, now the Browns know that they can't do Shedeur like they did Deshaun Kaiser. He's also black. Let him go 0-15. See, they know what they can and what they cannot do. And they knew Shedeur was a celebrity. And they tried to say, and I hate when they talk about these conversations, even people who claim to be for Shedeur. Well, he's so popular. Cut the foolishness. He don't have 10 million fans because he got a song or because he got music. No. His music is just his release. It's his elite skill set. His gift, because he's gifted. For Myles Garrett to come out and say he can make throws that no other quarterback can make, he's right. And the stats prove that because nobody else had done that. Now imagine had Stefanski not set him up. Jerry Jeudy touchdown should have been a touchdown. At least one of the two Wildcats should have been Shedeur. So that meant before the half, Shedeur could have had 3 touchdowns. Understand that. And then when they came back from the half, they slowed down the game. People said it got boring. They start penalties. See, they know what to do to manipulate the game. They prop Dylan up and sabotage Shedeur so they can devalue him. That's it. It said she looks nice. Yes, she does. She looks really good. It said I can put that link in the chat. Okay, thank you. It said, we need about 100 of y'all to hit the likes. Yes, please hit the like button, please. Third time today. It said, please have a live celebration with Stefanski is fired. Facts. Because I'm going to quickly schedule it, give y'all 15 minutes to get here, and we're going to get that praise dance on. It's gonna be like I hate to say this, but when the lady who was the Queen of England passed, do y'all know there were global celebrations? Like people in Ireland were on the Ireland social media. We could see it. They were the witch is dead or something like that. Like they were seriously, they were celebrating. I'm like, I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be doing that. So any day now, any day now. I hate if they make it go to the end, but it should be any day now. That's how I feel. Because he's done more than enough damage. It's that, yeah, they're going to protect their own. That's what we see. That's what we see. It said if Trump tells Haslam to fire Stefanski, he is a goner for sure. In my YouTube voice and my white voice. Yeah, now that's true, I guess. But it don't seem like he'll do that. What he'll do is he'll put out something. I mean, the first one was a directive. Draft him now or something like that. You know, the second one was I told you so. Now, to me, if I told you so, he needs to be the one going forward. And that's why we think he on the depth chart. But then, you know, they allow Stefanski to make a fool out of himself because he was non-committal. Then he came out like he had Botox and told us Shedeur gonna start week 13. And you know, he hated that. And then he comes back, you know, talking about Dylan is clearing this, that, and the other in waivers. But he also said Dylan was returning to practice and that got X. But then he says Dylan is returning to practice. He cleared concussion protocol, and then Shedeur went on the depth chart like they parked him at QB1. So it's like they letting Stefanski do Stefanski and pushing him on an island, and he don't realize it. They keep vetoing him. But Barry is getting his way. Understand, Deshaun was a part of the photo op too, right? Because I'm like, I wonder if they got like a lawsuit from somebody and we just don't know. To send Deshaun out there, to let him travel. And you heard Shedeur say, not everybody's on the travel team. You know, he's black too. And as that man pointed out, Stefanski mistreated Shedeur. So if somebody filed a complaint, Deshaun could be in there too. And him being in the situation where he's being utilized, whereas they refuse to let him go back to practice. So since I won't let you go back to practice, I'm gonna let you go on out here and be a photo op, and you going out there work with Shedeur, and they'll know we don't have nothing against neither one of y'all. It's very well could be possible because something changed. And people look at Troy Aikman. They didn't switch up after Troy Aikman at all. So something changed. And that's why I say he's the legal liability. And everything you've seen is a photo op to prove I'm not racist. It said, they say Tom Brady said the N word. It said, I wonder how quick Stefanski will pull Shedeur out the game if he starts to lose the game. In a blink of an eye. If he can, because I don't think it's up to him. Speaking of whoa. He must be talking about DeAndre. So y'all check this out. Somebody on X right before we went live was talking about people don't like Shedeur because he celebrated this, that, and the other. And somebody said, I think I reposted it. Somebody said, it's okay to celebrate when you've been working for something all your life. He just celebrated. And then another person said, I think, it goes with the family, him and his dad. And that's why people don't like them. And then somebody said, I just chalk it up to a cultural difference. And I wanted to say so bad, but I don't respond to everything. All Black people do not celebrate the same. What they do is what they do. And they not doing nothing wrong. They just happy. So they were trying to explain it away and all of this, talking amongst themselves. So I just went above topic and said the same people that don't like Coach Prime, that claim to not like Coach Prime, like Ric Flair. Woo! Tell me I'm wrong. That's the same age group. The same man that had his grandson or whatever was on telling us about his granddaddy was paying him $10,000 to break Coach Prime legs when he himself played in some league. And he said, but my granddaddy don't know what a bounty is. If he offered you $10,000 to break somebody's leg, serious or not, he know what a bounty is. I said, so your granddaddy racist because here's the thing. Coach Prime didn't do nothing wrong. He was just a good athlete and he didn't like people disrespecting him. You can't be mad that somebody stands up for themselves. The only people who get mad when Black people stand up for themselves are racist. And as hard as I'm not racist, don't call me racist. Well, stop acting like you're racist. Simple. Just stop being racist. But it's like they stuck and they just can't help themselves till they get busted. And that's what I mean by if they leave Stefanski in place to do damage. Jerry Jeudy was last week, and now they talking about he point shaving. They better hope that that's what it is, right? Instead of bribery, because that's what I say it is. Because bribery goes with racketeering. Point shaving is independent, and that's on Jerry Jeudy. So I don't know why they gave him $54 million if they knew he left Denver for point shaving. Did they want him to point shave for them too? That don't make no sense. Why, if that was the problem in Denver, would you give him $54 million? You're just rewarding bad behavior. Maybe because you want to make him an asset, and you did last week. So like I say, if Stefanski is still in place, more and more people will get exposed. Yes, he will try to sabotage Shedeur. Yes, Shedeur will likely get out of it. The worst case scenario, he gets sick for some weird, mysterious illness, or he gets injured. And that's what we don't want. That's what we don't want. That's why Stefanski should be gone. It says Shedeur is young, gifted, and black, and that's why they envy him. That's it. And they don't want to say it out loud, right? They don't want to say it out loud because if they didn't think he was good, they wouldn't be working this hard to hold him back. And because they know he's a movement, they chose to ignore it, even though they talked about his celebrity. And Mary Cabot asked Flacco when he first got to Cleveland, do you think Shedeur's celebrity will be a problem? So y'all know he's a celebrity. You want to say he's not a good athlete. He just famous. But then you try to humiliate him in public as if his fan base wouldn't say anything, as if decent people wouldn't say anything. And I told y'all the way things are today, they may not be tomorrow. So while 47 had the time to say, I told you so, there was always also something going on over there that says he might be in trouble, right? Says a lot, don't it? Right? I'm over here on fire with the governor of New York, and then I'm trying to dress like him and all this kind of stuff. And here it is, I'm doing this. So it said I started about Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, that was hilarious. If y'all knew about that on social media, that was crazy. It said, oh, the Queen of England was nothing nice. Apparently not. It said, please play Victory Shall Be Mine by James Cleveland when Stefanski gets fired. That song is very appropriate. Okay. What did you say it was? I'll post it on the screen so people can see it. Victory Shall Be Mine by James Cleveland. I'm going to take a picture of this. When Stefanski gets fired. I don't know if it's copyrighted. I can't play it on social media. But I can maybe get the lyrics or something like that and share it. It said a leopard never changes its spot. Facts. It said we must learn to protect our own. Your podcast feels like a big caring family. It is, Crowley. Thank you so much. Yes, I will do the praise dance with you. Okay, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. It says, what she said, sports has created a big caring family. Yeah, we are. We a family. I mean, hell, we could all probably end up at a game or something. You never know. I'm just saying it could happen. I think we actually have that type of camaraderie or familiarity online that if we was like, Shedeur going to the Super Bowl, let's get some tickets and go, provided they wasn't like $10,000 a piece. The point is, I think we would all kind of want to do it, is what I'm saying. So yeah, we feel like a family. So if you're thinking about joining us, join us. We go live Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shedeur getting that Angel Reese treatment all day. And do y'all know those two are the reason I started the podcast, period? Sure did. Because Shedeur was at Colorado and Angel was still at LSU. And I talked about the vitriol they get. I said these two just get hatred and vitriol. And then I talked about Emmanuel Acho, how he talking about Angel Reese chose to be the villain and she couldn't cry. I'm like, so you're trying to say the woman can't have emotions, Emmanuel? Really? He just, the best thing they did for him was to fire him. Honestly, the best thing they did for him was to fire him because he was over there just tap dancing and it's just bad. But now he's starting to right the ship. I don't know if somebody talked to him or not, but his commentary on Shedeur after that game, I said he needs to apologize. Then he was holding Rex Ryan accountable. Something in me makes me believe that he kind of still want to be affiliated with the major networks, even though they are doing well on their own. But see, sometimes people need to buy into white benevolence, which is a tenet of white supremacy, that Black people need them to succeed. Now, he's not African American, so I don't know how he thinks, but I do feel like just like Rex Ryan is jockeying for something else while he's on these networks, I feel like because Acho got fired from the show, he's still trying to, like Marcellus Wiley, get back into favor with these people because they saw Shannon get that contract and then something happened to him. Now Cam Newton is on BET and I think ESPN, and he got like 3 podcasts of his own. And it seemed like for some of these people, like the ones that got fired from the networks, like RG3, he wanted to go back even though he had a successful podcast. It seemed like it's not good enough for them to be independent and thriving. It's like they got to keep running back. And that's what makes me think about the guys in the league that get mistreated and they never think about starting their own. At least Cam and Shedeur at least talked about it. And based off their given situations, I could see them actually doing it at some point, right? That's why the game that they play, if they put Dylan in that game, is to be ugly, is to be petty. Hopefully it don't happen. They ought to be tired and go, you know what? Let's just stop this. At what point do they say, okay, enough is enough. We just gonna burn the brand down if we keep trying this. We can't take this kid down. Just abandon mission and keep it pushing. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It said, do you think they never considered or factored in Shedeur's fan base, new era with social media? Okay, they knew it existed because they exploited it during the New Orleans Super Bowl. Shedeur Sanders was invited to the flag football game that was on YouTube, but he couldn't dress out, right? He didn't participate in the Shrine Bowl, and they tried to crucify him for it, even though he was asked by the teams that did draft him, that were never going to draft him, to not participate. So he didn't want to cause any trouble, so he didn't play because the draft was coming up. So they knew he was famous. They knew he had 3 million followers. They just didn't think we would stand up for him because they do not believe that Black people stand up for each other, because what they see in the NFL every day is Jerry Judas versus Shedeur Sanders. Selfishness, whether it's point shaving or whether you were bribed to do it, you stab somebody in the back that look just like you, and they do not do that. Understand, JJ McCarthy should not be QB1, but they are not going to embarrass him. They are not going to demote him, but they will a Black quarterback because they think we're not going to say anything because of how these guys move in the league. If these guys held them accountable, like Travis asked for his $30 million signing bonus up front. He kept asking, they kept ignoring. He kept asking, they kept asking him stupid questions about a Madden rating. He said, I don't care nothing about a Madden rating. And then what happens? He go to Coach Prime, they go fishing. And on a Sunday, he gets a $1 million contract, $30 million signing bonus, and his contract was signed. And now he at home with his leg up. And they talking about, have they been fleeced? No, you wasted your time. That's what you did. That man had a baby and a new wife. Matter of fact, he celebrated his wife's birthday today by saying, happy birthday to my wife. And I ain't really hear nobody talk about it, so I ain't, want to say nothing. So, they over there bonding and everything happened for a reason. So, that's on them. They had plenty of opportunity with Travis to get it right, but they kept ignoring him. And I said it. See, this how you know they ain't really like Travis. See, y'all gonna hear me say, y'all gonna say, damn, she said that about Dylan. Facts, they don't like him either. See, here's what I have said about the whole Dylan situation, that he don't know he being used. They had him sacked 17 times. They knew he couldn't win from the jump. They knew he was undrafted free agent. He went over there to the Manning Passing Academy so he could get in front of Shedeur, and did twice. And they used the Heisman to do the same thing in the draft. And they thought that would be the end of it. Nobody would say anything because what happened in college? Well, if it happened in college, then it's fine over here. But see, the guy from DMVR RK, you know what he said? He said, we knew when they were both in college that Shedeur was better than Dylan, but there was a campaign against Shedeur. They waged war against Shedeur when he hit that number 1 spot in October of 2024. And that's where they was working it. And Dylan went to the Manning Passing Academy and got in good with them, and they pulled some strings and they got him in. People say they think it's just Stefanski and Landon. It's them other people too. Them same ones, all three organizations, the Mannings. Dylan is their choice to their nephew come. Shedeur is not their choice in any organization. And that's shameful. Because I saw a video with a young Shedeur with Coach Prime with the bandana on. What I know it was Peyton Manning tossing the ball around. When I tell you a large consortium of people got together and stabbed the Sanders in the back, I was shocked to see Coach Prime in the tunnel and in a suite, especially the owner suite. That's the first owner since the draft that we've seen publicly gravitate or show kindness towards Shedeur after how he was treated in the draft. Don't be surprised if Shiloh popped back up. Because if they over there being nice in Cleveland, where Shedeur is, after Kevin Stefanski showed his AZZ and turned the spotlight on the whole organization, and corruption is a topic of conversation, don't be surprised if I need to be nice to Coach Prime. Don't be surprised if I got to get Shiloh back when it starts to reach the feet of the league itself. See, it will move from Stefanski on to Haslam and an organization, and if they keep on, it's going to be at the feet of the league, because you supposed to do something about this. Don't y'all have a players association? Where are they? No accountability. That's a problem. That's why they have a case moving through the courts right now, because they don't have real processes. They don't have a real arbitration process. They just have something called an arbitration process, but it's not a real arbitration process. That's why now their cases are going through court. So they knew, they exploited it. They just think we don't stick together. And they're seeing that we do. Remember what Mary Cabot said to Shedeur when they were at that college doing the cooking thing? Oh, you have a fan base. They are loud and proud. Remember she said that? They were shocked then, even though they knew. They were shocked that we were standing up for him. On one of these little platforms, I heard somebody say, yeah, they got a fan group called the CU Aunties or something. Yep. They shocked. Because a lot of these guys, that's what I said. They keep coming to the league. They don't have no fan bases. These kids coming out of school better get some fans. If you want some accountability, you need some fans, because your contracts demand loyalty. And you see how they try to curry favor with Myles Garrett. And pit him against Shedeur. Pit Quinshon Junkins against Shedeur. Pit everybody against Shedeur. I say Jerry Jeudy too. Because they know they can. Whether it's the contracts demand loyalty or these dudes are selfish. They're not going to stick together. So they shocked when we do. We don't know them. So they're like, what the hell y'all got going on? But they don't understand Unc and Auntie. They don't. That's because they don't understand Black people, period. It said the AI is only tracking 3 mil. What you talking about when you say 3 mil? It say Emmanuel Acho is a Nigerian. Yeah. And that's, I think, his blind spot. Nothing wrong with being Nigerian at all. And but for him, he was born in Dallas, though. So just like Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy was born in Florida. So people say he Haitian. His parents might be Haitian. But Emmanuel Acho is from Dallas, where Shedeur is from. He makes choices. See, when people come to this country, they feel like the way to get ahead is to do what? Definitely distance themselves from us. So unfortunately, they do that a lot sometimes. And he just still doing it. But now it's sad that he has his own show and he thinks he still has to do it. He hasn't learned. You know, this your show. You don't need to do that. What you need from them. It's like they don't understand the concept of entrepreneurship. It's like it has to be the NFL. Like Destroy. I told y'all they was trying to distract him. They got him on an all-state commercial. Something talking about college or whatever. Then before that, the NFL flag football game. And people were like, man, you're not posting no more. You're not doing your one-on-ones. And he started this new league with Cam, the 3-on-3. Now they got Cam on 2 or 3 different shows. You see? When Black players get close to having their own league, when they get some motion, They get tricked. At the same time, both of them got distracted from the league that they started together. They went from one-on-ones, Cam 7-on-7, to a joint 3-on-3 leagues with adults, not students, like the 7-on-7, not high school kids that were forming out to college. We talking grown men could just pull up with your own 3-on-3, which could formulate into a league, because all I needed was a few teams to play together, and they had that. And both of them got dispersed into different directions. So that's how you know it can be done. You just got to be smart enough to not get, because what they going to do, mark my words, they're going to send somebody else to do it. And then you're going to be fired from whatever it is they got you to do. Oh, we don't need you no more. Is that what happened with the Negro Leagues? That's also happened with Black football leagues. Come on over here. We can kumbaya. All they did was want to conquer the competition and get rid of it. So they got Cam and they got destroying off doing separate things. And they feel like they winning when they was this close to being competition. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yeah, Acho just thinks he has to do that. I don't know, when these guys get kicked off with these platforms, they act like they can't wean themselves off and go start their own thing, when actually that's the blessing. Even with Shannon being successful, Shannon's biggest not mistake, but the move he didn't need to make, and this should be a lesson to everybody, including look at what happened to Arena Show. Every single time these Black football players get motion, next, if Shiloh want to get back to the league, you know what he need to do? Go buy 1 million subs. Just go out there, buy 1 million subs if you could do it, and get somebody, or run your content up real fast. Get yourself to they'll come get you. Guarantee they'll come get you. Shiloh, you want to come back? Better yet, go out there and start, pick up where Cam and Destroying left off. If you get 2 teams to play 11 on 11 for a week straight, or a few weeks straight, and people start watching it like they did Gil's Arena, they will come get you. Because the last thing they want is anybody last name Sanders that is a child of Deion starting their own football league in any way, shape, or form. That would scare the hell out of them, and they'll probably sign Shedeur to a 10-year contract so he don't leave and be out there throwing the ball, and them making all of the money, and people wanting to see that product. That's why they need to do it. That's why they need to do it, because I see they keep pulling people away when they get this close. I asked you, I wonder if Shedeur know that they only keeping him so he don't go start his own. Remember Coach Prime was going to do a 7-on-7 for clinic, and he didn't get to make it because, he was dealing with everything. And I said, oh, I want to see that just to see how many people watch it. And it got disrupted. But maybe if they fool around and be stuck on stupid, or Shedeur decide I'm out. But if Shiloh was to get 22 people to play football against each other with a hellified quarterback and Shiloh on the other team, and people, oh, I want to watch Shiloh, I promise you they will come and get him, because that's what they do. They asked Destroying to be the mascot first. I'm like, how the hell are they going to ask this man who's a pro player to be a damn mascot? It said, as of November 26th, Shedeur Sanders has a sizable social media presence with millions of followers across. Yep. Specific follower accounts vary. Yep. And then you got to think about all the people that's not necessarily counted on social media that has bought his jerseys. And then you got to think about the global audience that they now have too. Because remember, Shedeur's face is plastered everywhere. And we saw the people from Africa watching the game doing the Shedeur at 1 o'clock in the morning. It said, thanks goodness Travis got his contract fully guaranteed. Right. Now, his contract was fully guaranteed because he was number 2 overall, which means Shedeur would have been. What was special about his contract is he got the $30 million signing bonus. So if the contract is 46, $30 million is allocated towards a signing bonus, which meant he got over 80% of it, 85% of his contract up front. That's not what they normally do. But that's what a signing bonus is supposed to be. But he got his $30 million in the bank. The rest of them, they don't get it like that. But if they work together, they would have it. So yeah, I agree with you. It said they don't understand tools and pawns. I guess not. It said I can't stand Jason or Jay. Oh, on it said the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I don't know them. Are they the white guys? Who are they? I don't know them. It says Skip Bayless have been eating Brady up. Ooh, he called Brady a two-faced something. He called Brady a two-faced something. The internet said it's only two white men that went back to back for Shedeur, and that's Mel Kiper and Skip Bayless. I was like, I'm a little iffy on Skip, but okay. Okay, I blocked him. I did. I had to unblock him to see it. I blocked him because he was blaming Shedeur. I'm like, now you know goddamn well that this ain't got nothing to do with Coach Prime. He always goes to, and see, this is what I mean by you got to be careful, right? I could wear your jersey all day, but if I'm sitting up saying, well, your father was this, and that's why they did this to you, when it's really racism, and I know it because I'm asking for Shedeur to leave Cleveland, but I'm not asking for Stefanski to be fired, and I claim to have Haslam's number. So why these people that know Haslam not leaning on him to fire Stefanski? It said that there are people trying to talk to Stefanski to talk him down off the ledge. Why they not talking to Haslam? I told you Haslam don't get a pass at all. Because that negligence is going to rest right at his feet. If he leave Stefanski over there. Hit him with that Rico. That's what I'm talking about. Racketeering. People don't believe it. They already qualified. Let people find out that Jerry Jeudy was offered some guarantees or a bonus or anything, some candy. I don't give a damn. If he was offered something, because if he was the one point shaving, why was Cedric Tillman doing it too? And why in week 1 it was O-lineman didn't understand? And then why was it in week 2 it flipped over to the wide receivers wanting to skip to Malu and stop running? Understand, saying that he's point shaving could be to make you look in a different direction, because if it's bribery, then I'm looking at who? Stefanski, the one they are covering for. So don't be too quick to accept that that's what it was. Mary Cabot calls Shedeur Nation a rabid fan base. You know why she said that? Because they was on her accounts and they heard her talking about a read where she was saying Shedeur was like slow to learn. She got in trouble for that. So she ended up making her account private or something where you got to get subscriptions to read about what she's saying. Remember, she got pushed out the way for a minute after we said microaggressions against Shedeur. See, they heard us. This was early on. We were like, you see how she, with all these microaggressions against him, remember at the thing at the school, she kept being all up in his face and you could tell he was uncomfortable and she kept trying to make him uncomfortable. And she was like asking him about his fan base and he was like, he don't know what that is. She got in trouble after that. She sure did. And that's when they put Daniel Oyefuse out there, which is how I know who he is. And then they went into the summer and when they came back, they gave her back her spot. Why? Because she know where the bodies are buried. She been there 31 years. And I think Shedeur was trying to get to some reporter's question, and I was wondering if it was Daniel Oyefuse. I don't know. Because he be trying to tell stuff too. This is why his NIL was nice. Yep. His and personally, I said I think it has everything to do with money, that he's young, black, and was already wealthy. Yep. They don't like wealthy players, white or black, to be honest. They just apparently don't see a lot of black wealthy players. But I think Josh Rosen, one of these players, Josh Allen, somebody was rich from California. And they gave that person a hard time saying, yeah, I don't think he's going to have a passion for the game because he's wealthy. And I feel like it was Josh Rosen. He came in and out in 4 years. They say that's what's going to happen to Cam. I don't know why they say that. I think it's wishful thinking. But I think it was Josh Rosen. They felt like he came from a wealthy family, so he wasn't going to be committed. But Trevor Lawrence, they asked him in his interviews if football was everything, and he said no. And they got mad at him, and he had to clean it up, and he did, but he still got drafted where he got drafted first round, whatever. And you see he got a contract till 2029, parking him in Jacksonville. He didn't deserve that. And then why so long? It's like the new owners at the time, I guess, they're not Caucasian, they're not white. So it's like they stuck it to them. I'm just gonna put him over here till 2029, so you can't do nothing. I mean, why wouldn't I? I discriminate against everybody else that's not white. Why wouldn't I? They said they want to move Trevor Lawrence, but they can't because his contract is too heavy and he has a no trade clause. So it's like they got set up because somebody let them in the league. It said Deion was invited to sit with the Raiders owners to watch his son play football. It said, which Deion say it was kind of weird. He did? Oh, I thought he was fine with it. I thought he thought it was nice. It said that's because he's there for his son, which was the opponent. Yeah. He did say something about it was interesting that the opposing teams let him have extended kindness, but the Browns didn't. And Bucky was at a film, but maybe because that wasn't their stadium. I don't know. We'll see if Coach Prime is in Cleveland because Coach Prime's season will be over next week and Shedeur will still have games to play. So I don't know what Colorado does immediately after season. I thought that was it. Shedeur is worldwide. Can't track that. That's facts. And Shedeur has direct support and he has indirect support. Like Attorney Crump. I don't know if Attorney Crump follows Shedeur, but I know he damn sure be tweeting about him. Calling it out what it is. When black people find black excellence rises, they keep moving the goalposts. I'm like, all right, y'all keep playing. Y'all know this man go to court and win. He ain't even got to go to court. Keep playing. It says Skip Bayless called Brady Two-Face. That's what it is, Two-Face. That is crazy, Two-Face Tom. I know he was on him. Now that part, I appreciate it. I appreciated that part. I really did. He did call him out. And y'all notice he still ain't made no appearance. Emmanuel wants to be an ESPN. He still wants to come for Shedeur and Prime at times. Yeah, see, I think he wants to be associated. He feels like that's the ultimate goal. No, ownership is the ultimate goal. When you don't respect ownership of your own product, you're not being bright. You're telling people you're a walking lick. You want to work for somebody. You don't want to create it yourself. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, just keep letting people exploit you. Because what he started is actually a good thing. And then he got Shady on there and he had James on there. The only person I hadn't seen on there is Chase Daniels. And Chase doing his own thing. But if they all ended up back over there, unless they signed some, the non-compete agreements are against the law in the U.S. So they didn't sign that. Technically, he got the crew back together. So, and they got the same or better ratings than they had on the facility when the show was owned by somebody else. And I know they making money over there. But maybe he looking at his salary and how much he got versus having to split it with the host, and he got to do the work. He just had a cushy job before. And then, the platform was bigger, but hey, bigger is not always better, and all money is not good money. And I don't think Emmanuel Acho understands that. And maybe if he was African American, he would get it. But then again, I don't know. Because Gilbert Arenas, I have no idea why he would start that platform and turn that platform over to the people he did. I went from watching, I saw 3 black people and a white person. And he flipped it. And I saw a white lady, 2 white men. One of them was last name was Gruden. And I was like, and then the other one was Richie Incognito. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Why are we giving platform to racists? What's going on here? And then it was the one dude, Ali Talib, who stood up for Shedeur. Has he been back over there? Has Ali Talib been back to, it's called Arena's Gridiron. I'm like, did they hijack you for your show when you was locked up for a minute? Or is something going on there? They helping you out? Because what the hell would you do that for? So it's not just being Nigerian or African American. It's about respecting ownership. That's what it's about. And he might be thinking, I still own it. But you're letting them exploit it and push the narrative against your own people. To the point where you got Talib out here, the lone voice, speaking the truth. And it shouldn't be like that because you yourself are black. And you cultivated this show with a black audience, just like Shannon. And then let these networks come along and the same thing happens. And they both ended up in trouble. When they gonna see the play? When they gonna see the play? Don't know. It's that, yeah. It's that born here, but remember, die hard that rocks the cradle. Oh, the hand that rocks the cradle. Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you. And yeah, I can't speak on that because I don't understand that. I just know how a lot of people act when they first get here. They just have this preconceived notion that they should be aligning themselves with the oppressor and standing against us because I don't know what the hell they saw on TV, but then they need us. Then they here because of our people died so they could be here, right? The Civil Rights Act, that was us. And they got to skate in on that. So don't come over here acting any kind of way. Understand that. Smile at every black person you see and say thank you. It said you are so right. JJ McCarthy is a sorry QB and no one talking about him losing his job. He looks sorry every week. And he was dancing out in the tunnel calling himself 9. And somebody said, so is he arrogant? They told me, because y'all said Shedeur was arrogant. I said, it said the minute Shedeur have a bad game, the media would say his career is over. Right. Like they talked about Brock Purdy. $250 million. He threw what? 4 interceptions before the half? Has he lost his job to Mac Jones? I just want to know, because when I get off of here, I'm going to start to look to see where everybody is, because I know they're going to be for some things. I'm not even sure they want Brock Purdy to be the quarterback. I think they might want it to be Mac Jones, because they said when Brock Purdy came back, Mac Jones did so well, and I told y'all he's going to take somebody else that's black job, Justin Fields or Cleveland, Deshaun, somebody. So I think by the time since Shedeur rolling into town, I think they want Mac Jones to be the quarterback, because Brock Purdy just told them he can't do it. But they don't want to bench Brock Purdy because they just paid him $250 million. So if you paid him $250 million, I got to come off of QB2 to go out here and fast, even though he gonna whip my ass. I'm gonna need that $250 million. That's what it is. I learned that from the NBA. They just left Trey Young out there to stink up the place because they paid him $45 million a year. And I was like, so we just gonna lose till he gone. And is he still here? And I have not been back. I have not been back. So I am in effect a Browns fan for the NBA with the Atlanta Hawks. Because until you do right by me, I'm not coming back. Yep, not coming back. Not coming back. Not coming back at all. I'm like, I don't have time for you. I didn't tell you to pay Trey Young $45 million. And things change, right? And just because you paid him $45 million don't mean I got to suffer. So, to hell with you. It says, I chose new catchphrase is, I'm just going to be the devil's advocate. Excuse to suck up. That's all. And you know what? I kind of like him because I know he could be better. I know he don't have to be like that. I know he from Dallas. And I know what he doing. And honestly, I think he would get much further if he was just genuine. Honestly, I would just tell him that. And if you see it, please stop. You're embarrassing yourself, not us. You're embarrassing your people. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. It said a Chinese born in America is still a Chinese person. The same with the Nigerian. An apple grown in China is still an apple and don't change nothing. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for the clarity. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Have y'all noticed all of the tourism geared towards Black people to go to Tokyo? Have anybody else noticed it? Have y'all been seeing it on social media? Different influencers being sent to Tokyo for like 2 weeks so we could go over there. Let me know if y'all saw it too. It said from AI, as of November 25th, Shedeur Sanders has a total of nearly 4 million followers on his Instagram, TikTok, and X, formerly Twitter accounts. Okay. So yes, he has direct support and he has indirect support. Shiloh going to the Browns, just wait. You know, I was kind of thinking, and this is how you're going to know. So remember Shedeur said there's some hungry dogs that did make the travel team. Now, remember what happened last week. A reporter asked him, are you going to be throwing to people like Gage, remember? And he said, yeah, I don't have that kind of motion. And then Tommy Reese came out and said Shedeur going to be throwing a lot to people he came in with, like the rookies, and they named the rookies, and then the people they practice with in the spring. And I was like, this is crazy unless they don't trust Jerry Jeudy. And then we see Jerry Jeudy skipping to Malu like somebody in our comment said, and setting it up basically and doing essentially what Stefanski was doing. Overall, the result was the same. Stopping Shedeur from getting a passing touchdown. That's why I'm not buying the point shaving. The point shaving is to make you look this way while Stefanski gets away this way with the bribery. Because he's crazy enough to do it. So it just kind of seems to me that if we see the Hungry Dogs elevated this week, not only is Barry getting his way, Shedeur is being allowed to be the quarterback and request people and influence, or they're giving him something, maybe for the same reason Outcast coming, maybe for the same reason Deshaun is a photo op, Stefanski is being nice, has them photo op with kids with the 12. It could happen. And that could also be the reason why Coach Prime got an invite to the booth. Understand, when you're suing people or they think you have a case, and Shedeur just got robbed, when they think you have a case, they start to be nice. Here, you want to have a seat? I didn't want you to sit on the seat in the bus, but you can have it now. Yeah. And I feel like, when you look at the bigger picture, everybody being nice now all of a sudden. Shedeur being transparent, being crump, talking about things. He got robbed. I know it was for his devices. He got some kind of evidence. Believe me, they didn't need anything on him to get rid of him. They really did. They already humiliated him, and they did it in the draft. They did it in Cleveland, and he's still there. But if I can get what you have, then I don't have to be nice to you because you don't have evidence to take me down. And that could be what all of this inviting the black people at the halftime show. But they still let Stefanski set him up while smiling in his face. So it shows you how important it is to sabotage him. But it also shows you how important it is for them to not appear racist. We shall see. That's the beauty of it. Sunday's coming. And I will be live. We will be having our watch party. And y'all know I'm looking for Stefanski to set Shedeur up. I sure am. It says C. Oh, okay. Y'all talking about Shedeur's numbers. Shedeur also has indirect support. That's not on his social media too. So you have to keep that in mind. It said Mary Kay is now Shedeur's biggest cheerleader. What? Complete flip. So she flipping too? Interesting. Tony Grossi flip. Isn't he like on board now? Remember Tony Grossi was a big Dylan Gabriel fan. Isn't he on board now? It says this ESPN and the NFL gave a shout out to CU Shedeur aunties on live TV. See, so they know. Then they know. That's how they know. That's how they know. That's how they know. It said, did you see out your face when he saw Stefanski belittle Shedeur's efforts since he was a praiser of Stefanski? He was shocked. What? Why would he be shocked by that? Is it that bad? Being black in America, but really from Nigeria, you really don't get it? Maybe not. Maybe not. That's just weird, but okay. He right there from Dallas, the home of the $30,000 millionaire, something like that. So no, I didn't see it. It said before and after the game. W12 dog pound 216. What's that? Welcome. It said Prime got recruiting to do. Oh, okay. And coaches to fire and hire. He definitely has coaches to fire, and I'm sure he got their little letters and HR got their little monies together. Long as he don't fire that wide receiver coach. What coach y'all think need to be fired? I'm just curious before we get out of here. What coach y'all think need to be fired? I know Pat Schumer. Now, I wish he could fire Livingston, but his contract is valid until next season, the end of next season. I find that very convenient, considering what has transpired this year. Prime got recruited to do. That's true. This is linked to Mike Epps' video, Speaking the Truth About Black Wealth. Okay, thank you. Tina put a link in the chat, y'all. It said, yes, he is a regular. Talib, he's a regular. Oh, okay. So he on there all the time. So they let him come back. Okay. I was wondering, was they gonna push him off? I was like, now watch, I don't see him no more. See, I don't watch it. At first, when it came out, I was like, oh, this show is good. And then he got arrested, and I must have went do something else. And I came back, and I'm like, who the hell is this? Is that Richard Incognito? I was like, okay, why are we giving platforms to racists? I'm like, stop, just stop, just stop. Come on now, just stop. So I appreciated Talib's opinion. So I'm glad to know he's a regular, but I don't watch it no more. So I'm gonna have to hear what he say on social media. Did you know that the fleur-de-lis was used to brand slaves back in the day for punishment? Yes, threw my jerseys away and not a fan no more. Okay. Yes. 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 Yes, yes, yes. You have no idea. A lot of the symbols that we every day, it's not just the Confederate flag. You know, a lot of slaves were branded in different parts of the country. So we just really don't know. And when we learn, you know, it's how you look at it. But the Saints probably not going to part ways with it, right? And then there's the black clothing brand in New Orleans that just got to deal with the Saints, and they got the fleur-de-lis, I think, everywhere. So it's just all about what you know. You know, it's good we share. Yeah. Because see, you could be black in the South and think that the Confederate flag is pretty. I thought the British flag was pretty. Jack, I still like it. I wanted some boots with it on there. Now, do I know what they troubles are? No. We know what the Confederate flag troubles are. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised. I mean, I'm from New Orleans. I mean, I think the perspectives I have come from being from New Orleans. I mean, every time I go down there, what was that, 6 times last year? Where the black people at? You know, with the restaurants, they basically drove out the Creole food. Oyster po' boy is $28. It's just they ruining it, right? All of the Creole food, black culture, not Cajun food, Creole food. We're Creole, right? I mean, some of us are Cajun too, but we're mostly Creole, right? So it's like they're driving out the black influence. They've been trying to take over the city forever, since, like they say, heck was a puppy, right? So, yeah, I know. That's still my city though. I hold my breath every election, every election, and I think this time they had their first Hispanic mayor. I was like, oh, that sounds about right. When you in the, like I told you, Essence been there 50 years. Is it 50 or 30 years? That's different. I think Nigerians kind of took over that. So things are changing. It's just changing. Sorry for the sidebar. No problem. No need to apologize. Mac Jones will be QB1 for a franchise next year. Totally agree. Did y'all hear me not say that? See, people know. People know. So now let's talk about it from the perspective. While y'all let me know who Coach Prime should fire immediately besides Pat Schumer and Livingston. Let me know who else y'all think should go. See, there's a play here, knowing that Dylan can't beat the 49ers. They know that, right? They ain't got no choice but Shedeur to play, right? Stefanski will be mad all day, but he irrational. So they probably like, look, just shut up because Dylan ain't going to win and you're going to lose your job. So let Shedeur help you get to 4 games. Let Shedeur help you get to 5 games. Let Shedeur help you get above 500 for the first time and I don't know how long, right? Let Shedeur do that. So just shut up. Sometimes that's how you got to treat people because he irrational. Dylan, it's not going to work. You know Dylan ain't good. We didn't bring him in for that. So Shedeur, $975,000. Just let him do it. And then we get to bring you back next year. So the Mannings come in and kick him out. But that's the plan. That's really the plan. So Brock Purdy throwing 4 interceptions. I really probably don't want him to play against Shedeur now. So I need to find a way to not humiliate him, to not bench him, but to get Mac Jones out there. Because he probably can go toe-to-toe with Shedeur and maybe beat Shedeur, or maybe that's what they think. Understand that's the conversation. Now they know Shedeur will probably win this game, so they need to give leverage So I need to get QB2 from behind QB1 without him being injured. So he just threw 4 interceptions, but I don't want to embarrass him. And we just paid him $250 million, kind of like Dylan's situation. I need to get to the next one to come out here and win this game. They second to last. So I don't think they go into the playoffs. But can we really have Shedeur coming in here beating the 49ers? Brock Purdy that we paid $250 million to, Shedeur who we robbed. Now remember, Brock Purdy used to make $975,000, but he got his money. But they didn't collude against him. They didn't humiliate him. See, that's the difference between the white quarterbacks and the black quarterbacks. Like when the draft first happened, people were like, well, Tom Brady was drafted in the 5th or 6th round. I'm like, and he also was never a first-round prospect. Shedeur was a first-round prospect, and as you can see, he should have been prepared in the QB1. But they were willing to lose. And he was going to only get 4 games, and now he got 6. When Stefanski's being nice, Haslam taking a photo op, Barry comes out of hiding, brings Deshaun for a photo op, Stefanski taking photo ops with Shedeur during a game, but still sabotaging him. So while we're doing all of these things to be different, we still got the same agenda. So let's see. I'm going to have to go sit down and look. But I'm pretty sure with Brock Purdy throwing 4 interceptions, they're going to try to figure out how to get Mac Jones to play against Shedeur so Shedeur can lose. And then the media will just trounce on him all over again. But he should play the rest of the season because Dylan has 6 games. And the fans have leverage there. It says, about to beat the 49ers, dog pound, 216. Okay, Justin Fields is going to be gone. He's not a good QB. Justin Fields has been sacked 150 times. He has PTSD, and everybody doesn't overcome that. Everybody is not Shedeur. Everybody clearly not Geno Smith. Sacked 10 times? That was ridiculous. And the Cleveland Browns put together a clip for your enjoyment. Geno Smith sacked 10 times. If that was Brock Purdy, would they do that? If that was J.J. McCarthy, would they do that? If that was Trevor Lawrence, would they do that? No. They took pleasure in doing that to Geno Smith. And they fired Chip Kelly because they could have made an adjustment in the game. I hope they don't think they're going to do that to Shedeur. Can you imagine? Playing no games, none. It said the Niners weren't dominant in their win over the Panthers. Okay, go watch that game. I'm going to go watch that game. I'm going to go watch it. It said Judy need to be benched. He need to be suspended. His contract need to be terminated. He got something going on, whether it's point shaving or bribery. If they say it's point shaving, it's because they don't want to point the finger at Stefanski. But we saw Jerry Jeudy and Stefanski have the same objective, to prevent Shedeur from making passing touchdowns, and he got it anyway without them because he got a sleeve. That's God's grace for Shedeur, so he can win. And I think the O-line might be showing some love, but this game will be the factor. See how they seemingly, all into Shedeur. Don't buy into that too fast. Because, see, they're going to get you off guard, and you're going to think they're going to protect for you, and one of them going to move out the way, and you're going to get a hit that it's going to be hard for you to get up from. Don't buy into that, and don't eat nobody food. Stay with your family. It's that y'all have understand, Acho grew up around mostly white people, and he went to St. Mark's private school, which is a private school. Okay, I went to a white school. I went to a private school. What that mean? You mean I don't think it's because I don't think it's that. Because even black people, understand this, black people have black relatives. I don't care where you go to school. You still got a black grandmama. You still got a black grandpa. Nobody said anybody in his family was white. So it really doesn't matter where he went to school. The problem with him is, for whatever reason, and it could be that his parents were possibly immigrants or somebody was, and a lot of immigrants do believe that they buy into white benevolence. And that's his issue. And even though he has his own platform, he doesn't seem to be comfortable enough with that and understanding that that is the goal, not white benevolence. You can't be successful without them. That's what he's buying into. He got black relatives. And I know they talk about him at the reunion. It said Shedeur will show the 49ers something they have never seen. I totally agree. It said can't bench Judy. LOL. They don't have enough receivers. They got people. Shedeur said they have hungry dogs that have not made the travel team yet. So they got a whole practice squad over there. I bet they got somebody that want to show and prove. Do you see how Dylan Sampson balled out? You know why? Because at one point he was the 3 and now he's the 2. You see how Gage balled out and he made it all the way from walk on to the 4s to the 3s to the 2s. Remember Luke Floria works with Shedeur. He made it to the 2s, but he got injured. They got other people over there. And matter of fact, I thought somebody said Luke Floria came back to the practice squad. Let me know if anybody knows if Luke Floria really returned to the practice squad because I think he was cleared. It said they have 2nd and 3rd string dogs. Yeah, they got people. It said Shedeur can train. Facts. And he been working with them. Don't forget. It said Judy not doing nothing on the field. Not for $54 million. That's highway robbery. It said I bet they didn't get what they thought they were getting. Agreed. Unless that's what they knew they were getting. And they want to turn him into an asset. An asset, something you can use. I bet that's it. It said Pandora's box is open. It is. It is. It totally is. That's a good way to say that. It said Mary Kay is not the biggest fan. She posted today that the Browns should recruit a quarterback next year. I say fine. Long as Shedeur goes somewhere QB1, he ain't got to be in Cleveland. Long as they don't devalue him, because we done with this. Like they said, Pandora's box is open. We know Shedeur is QB1. We know he should have been drafted 1st round, probably number 2 overall to the same team he's on right now. We know he should have been QB1. We know all of the things that have happened. So y'all can quit the foolishness now. Don't let up. You can go get all the black halftime shows you want to. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That's for the people that's there. But all of the aunties, uncles, Shedeurians, Team Shedeur, whatever you want to call it, they're going to have something to say, and other people will too. The media is actually calling out the Browns, like not the big box media, not the Browns media per se, but like all of these people that call themselves analysts that do this for a living on X, they going in. They putting out Shedeur stats, the records he broke. You know, they really are pointing things out that they weren't doing before. And I think they trying to get Stefanski fired, and that would be good. Grossi said it was legendary. There you go. See, Grossi is even on the other side. Why Stefanski did not give Shedeur the game ball? Because he doesn't want to give Shedeur the satisfaction of being acknowledged. He wants to make Shedeur feel irrelevant. We don't need you. We don't want you. That's why he kept taking him out the game in the red zone. I would like to see him fire the offensive line coach. What? Oh, that's interesting. You know, he just promoted the offensive line coach. We're talking about Colorado. Coach Prime at the beginning of the season. Remember we lost that other offensive line coach? We got Gunnar White. He came over from Jackson State, and this was year 3. So he had been there the whole time. Jackson State and all of Colorado. So Coach Prime made him the O-line coach along with 2 other coaches underneath. So it was 3 of them. And I said, surely y'all got to get it right. Right? But then right after a certain game, it was announced that Marshall Faulk was going to Southern. Before that, like in practice, I saw Marshall Faulk talking to, I believe, Gunnar White, and he's over the running backs, and he was trying to instruct Gunnar White on how to do something. And I was like, that's not a good look. Next thing you know, Marshall Faulk is gone. And then people were upset with him in the last game because they put in Coleman out the blue and at a critical time. So they feel like he was setting up the program. I find that hard to believe, but then again, I'm not there. So I don't know. So interesting. We got somebody to say the O-line coach got to go. So that's going to be the 3rd O-line coach in 3 years. Secondary coach. Okay. It said the OC. I think Livingston is okay just to beef up the D-line and need better fine block backer play. So do you think Livingston's game schemes and play calling is good? Let me know. It say y'all coach Mo from CU came to see Shedeur. I saw him. Is he from Vegas? Because remember Remember when he left CU, or it was announced that he was leaving, he went on an interview at UNLV. So I was thinking he must live there because I thought he worked for FAMU. So I don't know. So if anybody have any details on that, let me know. It was nice to see Coach Mo. This is facts. This is facts. It said, I know you, I know you know that foreign black and their children, thank you, raised in a foreign household, do not think that they are Black Americans, so will not stand with us. Black Americans have, that's not the case. My daughter, a lot of her friends are Nigerian and they like her and she like them. So you can't lump everybody in the same category. Remember, I went to U of H too, so they have a large, I want to say Nigerian, but African population of different sorts. U of H is a melting pot, and I haven't seen that with everybody. I mean, I know that's the case because I went to Prairie View. I remember that, they would ask you where you from. You say where you from. You ask them at this time where you from, and they say London, and you just looking at them like, okay, fine, you from London, be from London. I get that, right? But I'm a case by case person, right? Like I don't like the Browns. I don't like nobody over there, right? But if I meet somebody, I'm gonna give them a minute to kind of see what side their bread is butter on. I'm not gonna ever make a generalization like that because that's not fair. Because that's what they do to us. Oh, all Black people this. No, all Black people nothing. We don't walk in lockstep. We don't. We stand up when we need to stand up. But we all live very, very different lives and we look at things from a different lens and a different perspective. So I don't like when people generalize us like that. Like they try to do Shedeur. Oh, all Black quarterbacks are slow. Fair. So I'm not going to do that to anybody else. And Emmanuel Acho was still born here, and I don't care where he went to school. He got Black family, and he had some Black friends on his neighborhood street or somewhere. He don't have to act like that, and he's grown enough to know. He's been in the environment enough to know you don't have to be like that. That is a choice. And you heard me say he's being a little different. I don't know if somebody talked to him because he is. People were complaining about him so much in the comments. Maybe he read the comments. So I'm not going to generalize like that. Instead, we never closed. It's gone in New Orleans. I know exactly where we never closed used to be since Katrina. It said, so that, that's what it is. It said, Coach Hart need to go, should only stick to recruiting. Is that the one Coach Prime came in with from Trinity? Coach Hart, what kind of coach is he? Running back or defensive back? What about Warren Sapp? Y'all think he gonna still be there? I saw him with a headset on. That's huge, right? Because I don't know if I've ever seen him with a headset on. So maybe he's already been elevated. Shedeur is better than Dylan all day, without a doubt. It said the strength and conditioning guy, since he came, those guys have always been hurt. What? It said when Coach Mo was there, them guys weren't hurt at all. Actually, I think Coach Swayze got them in better shape. I think these injuries are sometimes a way to, like, except for Tawfiq Bayard. You notice how we had a lot of people that were injured, and people say they leaving or they don't want to play no more or they gonna redshirt. Look at Dylan. Nobody saw him get hurt, and he got a concussion. I personally think, maybe Jackson Dore had a concussion, but he could have came back. They don't want him to because they're 2-10 or something like that. And they don't want people to be saying, you should have never drafted him ahead of Shedeur. He's a bust. So they protected him. Purdy is a Shanahan guy. Okay. It said Barry is building his legacy. Dylan and Stefanski don't fit. A lot of people are praising Andrew Barry. They say this got to be one of the best draft classes he ever had. I'm like, with the exception of cheating Shedeur, if we could get that fixed. Now, if Shedeur was the QB1 franchise and he got all these other players, and instead of, I ain't going to say, Mason Graham and Carson Swessinger, but let's be honest. They needed wide receivers and O-linemen. They already had a good defense. And don't get me wrong, Carson Swessinger is doing well. And don't get me wrong, Mason Graham is contributing. But you need wide receivers. You need O-linemen. Or maybe you don't, and they just making choices. Which one is it? Because Jerry Jeudy was making choices, right? So maybe they don't really need wide receivers. They need wide receivers who not going to sell out the quarterback. That's what they need. Whether they point shaving or they selfish. They need wide receivers that's not going to sell out the quarterback. Yep, but hate when somebody compares Shedeur to Brady. Interesting. And they don't like that. That's true. That is very, very true. All right, y'all, we're going to get out of here. Yes, they keep forgetting about God. They don't even consider it at all because it's blind arrogance, right? And that's, I feel like God's voice keeps speaking, and they don't listen. So we just going to be here. She'll be coming around the mountain. When she comes, that's just how it go. As long as she do good, we good. So we're going to have to see what the plan is for the 49ers game. All you got to do is just listen to the media and see what they all saying at the same time. And if Albert Breer come on back and y'all don't see it, I'll tell you what he say. Because understand, he know what he's talking about when he start talking about trade and all this, that, and the other. And you see Andrew Berry, giving Shedeur attaboy because trade value is up. His trade value is up. Now let's see if they're going to let Kevin Stefanski ruin it. Because I can smile in Shedeur face all day. But if I have Stefanski out here sabotaging Shedeur, then that's just performative. Just like having the doctor, Cheyenne Bryant, come in to work with Shedeur, the other rookies on mental health. What's the point of her coming in to work with Shedeur, Quashawn Junkins, and all the other rookies on mental health if Kevin Stefanski is just going to be allowed to sabotage Shedeur in front of these guys, pit them against each other, try to put them in situations where they're divided so he can conquer them. And for Shedeur to go into the locker room and Stefanski to diminish his value. What is the point of that? Performative. That's why she black. You see? All this blackness starting up here. You see it? I hope y'all seen it now. I hope you're seeing it. Somebody in trouble. That's just all I'm going to say. All right, we're going to get out of here. Good night. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll let y'all know if anything breaking pops up. Turn your notifications on. We did 3 today. We might try to do 3 tomorrow. Can't guarantee it, but don't be surprised if it happens. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. This was awesome. Thank y'all so much. 197. I can never see how many people are in here. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. And if y'all are shopping at whatshesaidsports.com, don't forget to download the shop app. It's free. That way you can track your package and use my code NOLAGIRL at checkout. Members, you have your own discount code to use. It is in the members section. All right, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Have a good night, everybody.